Welcome to the Virtual Hackathon. We'll be getting started in just a moment. In the meantime, feel free to jump in the chat and say hello. Let's get ready to build some funnels.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Virtual Hackathon. Excited to see everybody here this morning. Hope you are all ready to dive into some of my favorite funnels to teach. We have 2 funnels in one session today. We are doing both cart and book funnels all at the same time. So super excited to get into this with everybody. These are 2 different types of funnels, but you're going to see once we dive into this, the technical piece that we're doing today, which is building the funnel, is actually exactly the same. So 2 different funnels, 2 different strategies behind each funnel, some similarities in the strategy side as well, but the actual building of the funnel is exactly the same. And that's why we're able to teach both of these at the same time. So excited to get in this with you guys. If you just check this out, we do have a quick overview of everything we'll be covering in this session today. So we're going to start out with a quick introduction and some rules. Then we are going to jump into unboxing funnels. I'm going to teach you guys what unboxing funnels are, how these funnels fit into that category. Then we're going to dissect the funnels. We're going to look at each step of the funnel. I'm going to show you a framework diagram of them, dissect it all, see how it all works together, give you some quick tips and stuff. And then the best part, in my opinion, we're going to jump right into my ClickFunnels account, actually build this entire funnel completely from scratch. So normally I turn off my camera a little bit later, but there seems to be a huge delay, which is very distracting. So I'm just going to turn off my camera and we're going to go through all this. I don't know what's going on with my camera. There we go. All right. So quick introduction. Here is your virtual hackathon team. There's me on the left there, Gregory Dakins, your virtual hackathon manager. We also have Adam Teese here this morning. He's your virtual hackathon facilitator. And Andrew Clark, he's your virtual hackathon coordinator. If you would ever like to learn more about your virtual hackathon team, well, you can just head over to virtualhackathons.com. And on virtualhackathons.com, you will find all kinds of amazing information about the virtual hackathon team. So if you click on your host in the top here, it will just scroll you down to, and maybe it's my whole computer here that's lagging. It'll scroll you down to this section here where you can learn a little bit more about the virtual hackathon team. So a little bit about each of our backgrounds here. Also at the very top, there's always the schedule up here. There's always all kinds of great information you can find on virtualhackathons.com. So you can find the schedule. I'll take you to the registration links. You can find a little bonus video here teaching you about the hackathon, some testimonials. You can sign up for notifications. And there's even a little bonus training program for you guys at the bottom where you can learn my top 4 pre-funnel building secrets. But I want to come back to this in just a moment when we start building my funnel. I'll show you where these secrets come into play once we actually start building the funnel. It'll make a lot more sense if we hold off on this. So we'll come back to this free little training program I put on virtualhackathons.com for you. All right, guys, we do also have some rules for the hackathon. Number 1 rule is just to please be kind and respectful to one another and your hosts. We have the chat system turned on for everybody so you can ask questions right there in the chat. And Adam will be answering your questions in the chat as we go through the session. You'll also see a Q&A button on your screen. We're going to try to save that Q&A section for the Q&A session that we're going to have at the end of the hackathon. So if you have some great discussion topics, you can start queuing those up. If you don't get an answer in there right away, don't worry. We promise we will answer any and all questions. Now, we do have a few other rules on here. One is just that we can't assist with custom code solutions. It's just a little too time consuming and complicated for the hackathons. We also can't personally build your funnels for you. And if you have some type of bug to report or a feature to request that is not currently in the software, we'll need you to just send an email over to support@clickfunnels.com. Now, support@clickfunnels.com is not the only way you can get in contact with our amazing support team. You can also, inside of your ClickFunnels account, click on this little blue button in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you click on that, you can start chatting with our support team right from here. Now, I should emphasize it's not always live chat. There is a queue system. So depending on our current queue with support, response times can vary, but I promise you there is someone amazing on the other end of that will help you out. Everyone in the virtual hackathon team actually came from support in one way or another. If you aren't logged into your account when they respond, you'll actually get an email. So don't worry if you're not logged into your account when they respond, you'll still get your response. So just make sure you ask your question here with as much detail as possible. Now, I want to show you guys a few cool things before we get started because they're going to be super helpful for you when you are not in a hackathon. You have a lot of resources to help you out whenever you are in a hackathon. Or sorry, whenever you're not in a hackathon. So first off, I want to point out to you guys, you can click on any day coming up this week and you'll actually see what hackathons are taking place. So for example, if I click on tomorrow, maybe not. There's something going on. Let me reload this. Normally you can click on each day on the calendar and it pulls through our hackathons, but perhaps there's something going on that I'm not aware of. In fact, my whole browser is not playing very well today. Guys, let me actually reload this. We'll come back to some of these resources in a second. Let me try to reload my browser here because this is insanely slow compared to how well it normally runs. Try closing some stuff here. You log back in here. Oh, my year was wrong, said Erica. Wow. I didn't touch anything when I logged in, so that should not have been like that. There we go. 2020 seems right. All right. Much better. I just had to reload my browser. All right. Perfect. So as you can see, if we click on tomorrow, it tells us which hackathons are taking place tomorrow. We can just click on the title of any hackathon. It'll take us right to the registration pages. Also in the top left here, you'll see, it tells you which hackathon is either happening right now or which one is coming up next in the day. So like after this session is done, it'll tell you the hackathon that's happening this afternoon. So guys, I know when you look at this calendar, it'll say like right now we're doing cart and book funnels. This afternoon we're doing challenge funnels and membership funnels. But like don't feel like you can't come in here and just ask any question you want. We are here to support you guys as ClickFunnels Platinum members. So if you're stuck on something, you see that we're live, jump in, ask us the question. We might not always have like super detailed answer for you right away, but we will get you at least pointed in the right direction before you leave. So you can always jump into more hackathons. You'll see it only shows us till the end of June, but you can see on Wednesday, Canada Day, for all my fellow Canadians. We're doing some more every single day this month, Monday to Friday. We are doing hackathons, except for the 6th, which is a holiday in the US. But every other day, we are doing hackathons. You can click on any day, sign up for those sessions, and you'll be all set. Now, there are some other resources you have available to you, and we have some really cool updated resources for you, especially for the virtual hackathons. So I'll point out quickly, you can always go to help and then docs. You'll get access to the help desk. There's tons of amazing articles inside of there. You guys have probably seen this before. You just click on here or go to help.clickfunnels.com. Search for what you're trying to do in the search bar. You'll get an amazing article, usually with a video showing you step-by-step what to do. What I'm really excited to show you guys today is FunnelFlix. FunnelFlix got a few updates over the weekend. If we click on this little pop-up button right here, log into FunnelFlix. You just log in using your ClickFunnels account. So it takes you to this page. And look at this, virtual hackathons are super huge, highlighted on here now. So excited about this. So what's really cool is before we had like registration links and everything inside of our forum. Our forum was kind of like the go-to place to get all the information about the virtual hackathons. But now right here inside of FunnelFlix, you can just click on this badge at the top or virtual hackathons at the top, and it will take you right into this brand new virtual hackathon membership area where you can register for either of the sessions right from here. And there's all kinds of bonus materials like a success guide, info about the host, bonus trainings that we've put together for you guys, all kinds of amazing stuff for you, bonus videos, all kinds of cool stuff for you right here in the virtual hackathon membership area. So make sure you guys check this out. One thing that is going to be changed, guys, is in the past, if you signed up for, like, say you signed up for a session 1 hackathon, you signed up once and then like you pretty much just kept getting the reminder emails. One thing that is changing is you will have to register on a weekly basis. So if you register today, you'll get access to all of the session 1 hackathons for the rest of the week. And then actually at the end of day Friday, anytime over the weekend to Monday morning, you'll have to register for session 1 again. Same with session 2. If you signed up once, next week you'd have to sign up again. So the sessions that you're signing up for will restart each week. So guys, just make sure if you want to keep coming after the first week that you keep signing up here. It's really cool now on virtualhackathons.com. They're on the membership area. You just click on here. The little sign up form pops up here. That's all you do. You just click here and boom, I am now registered for session 1 for the rest of the week. Gives me some tips to like check out some cool videos and stuff here. And then I can return to that membership area and go through some of the strategy and tech videos here before the hackathon starts. So right there on your FunnelFlix dashboard. Also, if you go to virtualhackathons.com and click on this button here that says take me to the registration links, that'll load you into this brand new membership area as well. So virtualhackathons.com takes you here. FunnelFlix takes you here. It all just takes you to one nice spot where everything is there for you to find. Now, guys, one thing that I will recommend if it's your first time in a hackathon, recommend going through these videos here under the strategy stuff. This is what's going to help you build the foundation before you start building a funnel. As you go through these, you'll sort of be at the point where you're ready to really start building a funnel. So you have all these videos for you right inside of the virtual hackathon membership area. These are videos from Russell teaching you how to find your audience, like find out who your customers are and how to bring them into your world, how to create an offer that's going to work best for you and your business, and how to choose like what type of funnel will be the best funnel for selling your offer to your audience. And then there's a nice section here, the 10 core funnels. You have to check out this section. These are all the different funnels we teach you how to build in the virtual hackathons. And if you click on this button here, it brings you into this brand new membership area, something called Funnel Hacking Secrets, similar to what we used to have inside of Funnelology. But you can learn all of the core funnels that we teach inside of the virtual hackathons right here in this membership area. It's just, for example, we're on book and cart funnels today. If we click on book and cart funnels here, we get a video here from Russell teaching us the strategy behind, in this case, book funnels, but we could click here and learn the strategy of cart funnels from Russell right here. And then below is where you'll find all these amazing free templates that you can load right into your ClickFunnels account. We're going to use some of these to build our funnel today. So super excited to have this right here inside of this nice accessible membership for you guys now. So we'll keep this open and we'll keep moving along here. So guys, let me load up my slides again here. Where were we? We're at rules. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Presenter view. There we go. All right, so I did have one last note on here. It just says to make sure you take notes and follow along, but guys, don't feel like you need to take notes on every single little detail we're going to cover here today. There's a lot with a book funnel, especially book and cart funnels, especially. We're going to be connecting a lot of really cool things together today. We're going to be like doing it all. We're going to build the funnel. We're going to build the list. We're going to build the follow-up funnels. We're going to automate it all. We're going to connect it all together to build like abandoned cart sequences, all kinds of really cool stuff. There's a lot. So if you take notes on everything, I feel like you may fall behind, which I don't want to happen. So guys, just take general notes on things you want to start working on. What I want you to focus on during this session is just try to absorb as much as you can and focus more on asking great questions in the chat. So ask great questions in the chat. And I promise you guys at the end of the hackathon, I will show you exactly where you can go to get access to a recording of this session for at least 48 hours so you can come back, slow things down, and like pause me and build along with me. During this session, absorb and ask questions. All right? Okay, so to start things off, we need to look at something called unboxing funnels. Unboxing funnels are all funnels where we're going to start with a big offer. So that's why inside of that virtual hackathon membership area, I have a whole training video there from Russell on offer creation, book story and offer. Once you have your offer, there's going to be multiple pieces to it. Like, see all these bullet points in this little diagram? Imagine that these are each another piece of our offer. So if you think of all of like the secret books funnels, right? We have like the free book, then the audio book, then like special training program, all these upsells that follow after, right? Those are all part of one big overall offer. So with an unboxing funnel, you might have a big offer like that, right? With all these different pieces and bonuses to it that make it simply irresistible. What we're going to do with an unboxing funnel is allow customers to pick and choose which pieces of that offer they want to purchase as they go through each step of our funnel. So on the first step of the funnel, we usually start out with like a core offer, this like usually like free plus shipping or like a lower price point. And the reason we do that is because the goal of this type of funnel is to create customers. You might not necessarily make tons of profit off this funnel. Your goal is to create customers and hopefully break even, or create customers in a manner that will allow you to create even more customers for free. I'm going to show you a really awesome concept that'll help you with that. So we have 3 funnels that fall into this category: book funnels, cart funnels, and challenge funnels. We're covering these 2 today, and Adam's going to be diving into challenge funnels with everybody this afternoon, and even teaching you how to build membership funnels as well. So awesome session coming up this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time. But that's the idea here. All these funnels, our goal is just to simply create a customer, because once we have someone as a customer, it is infinitely times easier to move them up our value ladder in the future and sell them some of our higher ticket offers. So if you guys aren't familiar with value ladders in that virtual hackathon membership area, there's a whole video here on value ladders that'll Russell gets into the strategy of this. But basically, guys, the idea here is the more value you provide someone, so say this is value going this way, the more money you can charge someone for said value. Now, if I get someone in my world here with like a free plus shipping book, and I only make like $7.95 off shipping there, I'm probably going to lose money even. Even if I lose money in this funnel, the lifetime value of a customer I can create here can be worth way more than that. So as long as this core product that we give them in the first step of our funnel is like super, super valuable to people, like think of like the Secrets books. If you read that, resonate with it, you're now in Russell's world, right? So you're more likely after you read everything there to like realize, right, the value that Russell provides. If I read his book for free and I think, wow, I got all this, all I paid was $7.95 for shipping, or whatever shipping is these days. I got all this insane value. I can only imagine what the value is going to be if I give Russell $100 or $300 as I see some of his other offers. It's got to be better than what he gives for $7.95, right? So that's sort of the idea here. We're gonna at least create a customer, but it can be a profitable funnel as well, because after we sell them that like low end price point core product on the first step of the funnel, we're gonna give them the option to pick and choose if they want to purchase the other pieces of our offer. So we have like our first upsell here, they can say yes or no. Another upsell, they can say yes or no. And then we'll probably have a confirmation after that. We allow them to pick and choose as they go through our series of upsells, maybe downsells, what pieces of the offer they do or don't want to purchase. So that's the idea here. Goal is to create customers and at least break even. And if we make tons of profit, we can even take those profits and create a cycle of customer creation. I'm going to show you an awesome strategy for that in just a moment. But what I want to do next, guys, is take a look at the framework of these funnels. Here's an Ecomm cart funnel. It's the framework. Before I even explain what's going on here in this doodle, guys, let's look at book funnels. This is book funnels. Now let's look back at Ecomm cart funnels for a second. There's your cart funnel. All right. And here's your book funnel again. Does anyone notice a huge difference between these two funnel frameworks? You don't, right? The only thing that's changing is this little title here in the image. The framework of both of these funnels are exactly the same. And that's why I can teach you both of them at the same time here today. It's the process of actually building the funnel is exactly the same, but the strategy and like what you're selling is a little bit different. So let's talk about that for a moment. Ecomm cart funnels, we are generally selling physical products. So the example I usually use is like, say I'm selling supplements. Let's say I have a pre-workout energy powder, you know, those crazy energy supplements people take a scoop and they get all jacked up and work out for like 3 hours straight. Let's say I'm selling that. What I might do on the first step of this funnel is say, like, hey, you can get this free sample. I have like a little sample. You can get free plus shipping. I'll send you your first sample of my pre-workout powder for free. You just cover the cost of shipping. So then they fill that in. Now, on both these funnels, we use something called a two-step order form, which is really important for this type of funnel. And a two-step order form, it's going to be like fill in step one, like tell me where you want me to send you your free sample. And then it's going to be like, give us your shipping info. On that step, they enter their name, their email, and their shipping info. And when they click on next step, it takes them to step 2 of that two-step order form, but they don't actually leave the page. They're still on the same page. They get to step 2, that's where they see the price of shipping and where they can enter their credit card to complete the transaction. What's really important is right there, without them even leaving the page, you get a lead. As soon as they fill in step 1, they get added to your account. I'm going to show you guys today how to add them to a non-buyers list as soon as they fill in step 1, and then how to move them onto a buyers list when they complete a purchase on step 2. So you can have 2 different lists of contacts, a non-buyers list and a buyers list, and we can automate emails to those people depending on which list they stay on. So obviously the buyers, we're going to be like, hey, thank you for purchasing. And then the non-buyers, we're going to be like, hey, you need to get this free book before it's gone. So we're going to automate our abandoned cart sequence, which is going to be really, really cool. So on that second step, there'll also be something called an order bump. We'll get into order bumps in a little bit here, but an order bump is just a little checkbox on our order form they can check and adds something else to their purchase. Then no matter what combination they buy here with or without the bump, they'll get taken to our first upsell step where they can say yes or no. So my example again was my free workout, free sample of my pre-workout energy powder, right? So the upsells in Ecomm cart funnels, with cart funnels, you always see this. It's just like more of the same thing. So on upsell 1 here, this page, I might have like 2 options, like add 2 bottles of my pre-workout energy or 3 bottles of my pre-workout energy. Click one or the other and be charged a separate price for whichever one you click on. Or they can say no. So they say yes or no. They're then going to get taken to my second upsell, which in cart funnels is usually even more of the same thing or like more of the same thing plus the next related thing. So if I'm selling pre-workout powder here, maybe at this stage I'm like, hey, you guys got my pre-workout powder. What do you need after you're done having your super jacked up workout from taking my energy powder? Well, you need protein, right? Protein will help you recover. So maybe on this step I have like get my super awesome protein powder to go with this. It's the best combination. So that's the idea here. With Ecomm cart funnels, we're selling physical products. Our upsells are usually more of the same thing, and the next related thing. Now with book funnels, it's a little bit different. While the funnel framework is essentially the exact same thing, we're selling is a little bit different. Typically with book funnels, we're selling information products. So I'm going to start with a book, right? It is a book funnel. What's the next upsell you would have in a book funnel? More often than not, it's the audiobook, right? The next logical thing. You just purchase the physical book. If you don't want to wait, if you want to start consuming this right away without having to wait for it to arrive in the mail, I don't know if you guys have tried to get mail recently, at least where I live in Canada, it's insane. Been waiting months for one piece of mail. Then what we'll see is the next logical thing. It's like some type of like course or info product related to what we're discussing in our book. So like the book, then the audio book's the first upsell, and then maybe some type of like training program or course related to the topics we discussed in the book, or like a training program on the next thing they're going to need after they're done learning and consuming everything inside of the book. So book funnels, it's info products, and your upsells are the next logical thing. So one thing I told you guys is we can use this to create a cycle of customer creation. To understand that concept, I want to teach you guys something called average cart value versus cost per acquisition. So here's a doodle of a book funnel that I actually stole from one of Russell's presentations. These were real numbers from the Expert Secrets book funnel at one point in time. So we have two numbers at the top here. This first number is average cart value. This is how much money you make on average whenever someone purchases at least the first product in your funnel and goes through the additional funnel steps. CPA is how much it costs you, usually like in ad spend and stuff like that, to create one customer. So you're going to spend money on like ads and stuff like that, right? And that's going to send people to this page, your first step in your funnel, where they can claim the free book or the free supplement or whatever it is. We send a bunch of people there from that ad, and it costs about $23 in ads to get one person to get the free plus shipping book. So for $7.95, it costs $23. That is losing money, right? You are in the negative. If all we sold everyone in the Expert Secrets book funnel was the book for free plus $7.95 shipping and handling, we would only make, well, we would lose money. That's a losing deal. But we have an order bump on there. So there's a little, on that order form, there's a little box you can check, and it actually allows you to add 3 funnel templates right into your ClickFunnels account. That was $37 for 3 funnel templates, 3 completed funnels you can load right into your account. Check that box, get charged $37. 20.8% of the 13% of people who landed on this page and purchased the book for $7.95, 20.8% of that 13% paid an additional $37. Well, 37 plus $7.95 is more than 23. Those are profitable customers. Then whether they bought the bump or not, they see the first upsell, which was, I believe it was the audiobook plus 6 free training programs. Just about 10% of that 13% paid an additional $97. That's way more than 23. And then the second upsell at the time was our Traffic Secrets training program, not the book, but a training program that you guys actually have access to inside of FunnelFlix now. That was $297 to purchase back then. So just over 4% of people paid that additional $297, which is obviously way more than $23. So it's really cool. I'm going to show you guys later. Inside of your funnel, in the stats tab, there's a little stats tab. You click on that, actually calculates this for you. You don't have to do any math, but basically it's just add it up and divide it or something like that. I don't know. I suck at math. I just let the funnel do the math for me. And it'll tell you how much money you make on average every time someone purchases at least the first product in your funnel. If we can keep this number higher than this number, we know we have a profitable funnel. So once we have a profitable funnel here, you could take all those profits, put them right in your pocket. That'd be nice, right? Or if you're a smart marketer, take some of that profit or most of that profit or all of it, put it right back into your ad spend, because then you can scale things. This is generating a good amount of revenue here for me. What I can do is take some of that money, put it right back into my ad spend, and then we know what we're making on average. So it's gonna make me more customers. Eventually, like your ads will start to cost more money and stuff, and then this number won't be like this number will be more than this number. And you have to like test different ads and stuff like that. But for as long as you can, you want to keep doing that so that you can create a cycle of customer creation without having to pay for it. Essentially gives you like unlimited advertising budget, which is really, really cool, really powerful. So if you get those people into your world, if I give them insane value with this book here, if they don't get my upsells or OTOs right away. So I saw someone ask, what's an OTO? OTO stands for one-time offer. It's the exact same thing as an upsell. It's just the products we're going to offer them after they've purchased our core product here in the first step of the funnel. So I just lost my train of thought. I apologize. Once we get them in here, this is what I was trying to say. Sorry. If we give them great value here, even if they didn't purchase our upsells afterwards, they get tons of value out of this. It's going to make them that much more likely to purchase other offers that we present to them in the future, because they'll know the value they get from us at a really low price point. And that lets them know, like, hey, if we give Greg even more money, the value's got to be even better. So that's sort of the idea there. Now, the funnel we create today is going to be somewhat similar to this. If you look at my funnel, this is the funnel I'm going to build today. We have an order form, an upsell, a second upsell, and an order confirmation. I'm going to do kind of like a hybrid here, just because I know some of you are probably building cart funnels, some of you are probably building book funnels. Big difference here from a technical point of what we're going to build today is if you're doing a cart funnel, you usually have like more than one option on your upsell pages. Whereas the book funnels with info products, you probably just give them like one option on each of your upsells. You could do more though. So I'm going to give you an example here on my first upsell where I'm going to sell my audiobook, or give them a second option of the audiobook plus some training programs. But probably like with a real book funnel, I'd probably just go right to the audiobook plus training programs. But for you cart people, you probably will have more than one option. So I want to show you guys how to set that up. Just give you guys some ideas. And then I'm going to have second upsell, which is just going to be my traffic course, and then an order confirmation page. Now, if we scroll through here, you'll see everyone who purchases my book on the first step of the funnel is going to get added to a purchasers list. We're going to send them a thank you email, and we're going to remove them from the didn't purchase list. So remember that two-step order form I was talking about? We're going to say when someone fills in step one of the two-step order form, we're going to add them right away as soon as they fill in step one and give us their shipping info to the non-buyers list. Once they complete a purchase on the second step, then we'll add them to the buyers list, which will have an automation set up to automatically remove them from that non-buyers list that they first got added to. But if they stay on this non-buyers list, we're going to say for like 24 hours, we'll say, okay, they didn't complete a purchase within 24 hours. We're going to send them a reminder email being like, hey guys, this book, I can't keep it free forever. Everyone that's got one so far, they're freaking out. We've got to make sure you get your copy before they're all gone. And we'll send them back to this order form. And if they complete a purchase, then they'll get added to this list once they complete it and then get removed from this list. So we're using two series of automations to kind of play with each other. Those are called follow-up funnels. I'm going to show you guys how to do this all today. So I highly recommend doing this when you go to build a funnel. Make yourself a little framework like this. There's all kinds of cool softwares and stuff out there that you can use to do this. Things like Funnelytics, what's it called? Keep wanting to say Bridge, but it's called something else. Whatever. There's other softwares out there that can map out your funnels for you. I do it old school. I just draw it in my notebook. But what I'll do when I do this, I'll actually pull this page out of my notebook, put it right on my wall above my monitor. Keep it right in front of my screen so that I can see it as I'm working on my funnel. And the reason why I do that is because it keeps me focused. You guys are going to see ClickFunnels. It's a very flexible software. There's tons of different things I can do inside of ClickFunnels. I want to keep myself focused on just the things I need to do to get this funnel launched. So I made a list of the things I need to do to complete this funnel. We're going to build 4 pages. We're going to build 5 products, lots of products to create today. We're going to create 2 lists. We're going to create a follow-up funnel for each of those lists. It's going to help me stay focused. The other thing that's nice about building out a little framework like this, if I ever say I get stuck on something that doesn't work, I can reach out to support and be like, hey, this is the framework, this is the overall goal. Just going to give them that much more information so that if it's going to help them understand what I'm trying to accomplish and help them assist me that much easier. So it's a great tool if you need to reach out to support as well. So that's basically the idea here, guys. This is the funnel we are going to build. Let's check in with Adam and see if there are any questions we need to address before we start building this funnel.
Hey, Greg, I think a lot of the questions are going to be answered as you start building, so I'll be excited to see how it all turns out.
All right, guys, so let's jump right into my ClickFunnels account. Here's my ClickFunnels account. Right from my dashboard here, we could start building a funnel. There's a build funnel button there. We can also go into funnels. Oh, sorry, there's also ClickFunnels and then build a funnel. We could have clicked there. Or we can come here to ClickFunnels and then funnels. And this will show us a big list of all the funnels currently in our ClickFunnels account. And there's an add new button at the top. Click there. Before I click that though, I just want to show you guys, this is like a list of your funnels. Now, mine's huge just from doing so many hackathons with you guys. Yours will be much smaller, a lot more maintainable. But you'll see in your list, you'll have all these little titles here that you can click on to expand or contract. And these are called group tags. Throughout the hackathon, I'll probably refer to them as folders because that's essentially what they are. when we build our funnel and edit it, you'll see how we can control which of these folders our funnel will show up under. It's just going to help us maintain this big list. Recommend like organizing things early on when you start using ClickFunnels. So that way, once you have a huge account like me, it'll all be nice and organized for you. You don't have to go back and reset things. But if we click on add new at the top here, it's the screen we see whenever we start building a funnel. We get presented with 2 different options. One is the classic funnel builder. This is sort of the V1 version of building funnels inside of ClickFunnels. If we were to select this, we could get a funnel with all the steps added to it. We would just have to add in the template for each step. So we would have to select a template for each step of the funnel, trying to make it all look good together. Now, if we use the cookbook builder process, which I recommend over the classic funnel builder, you'll see we can select from all different types of funnels as a starting point here. All we need to do in here is find something. It's not, we need to get this updated, but it's not called a book funnel or a cart funnel in here right now. It's called a tripwire funnel. So if we scroll through here, eventually you'll see 2-step tripwire funnel, and you can click here on select funnel. Once you're in here, you'll see there's a video from Russell explaining the funnel to you here again. But if you come down here, you'll see there's all kinds of free templates. If you click on one of these, it'll actually show you all the pages that are included with that template. So if you're doing this, what you want to do is find one that will work as well with the little blueprint that you've created as possible. You still might need to do a little bit of customizing. So I'm going to have to like remove some steps, add some steps. I'm going to teach you, well, I'm going to show you how to do some of that stuff here today, actually. But that's where I recommend starting. The other place that we can get some really awesome templates though, remember earlier when I was in the virtual hackathons membership area, we got into funnel hacking secrets, and there's all these templates in here. So let me show you guys again how I got there. We're going to use one of those templates because they're even nicer than these templates. As Platinum members, you get access to all those templates. So if we click on the ClickFunnels logo here in the top left, It's going to take us to our dashboard where we can log into FunnelFlix. Now, I showed you how to get there from the virtual hackathon membership area, but all it was doing when we clicked that button in the virtual hackathon membership area, remember we were here, I went to the 10 core funnels and I clicked this button. All that did when I clicked this button was load up this right here. So funnel hacking secrets. It even says start here. You click on that. That's where I found all those templates. So you scroll down, you will see unboxing funnels, book funnels, and cart funnels. Templates for both in here. If you click on one of these, it'll show you all the free templates included. And I think there's even some newer ones in here. I haven't seen some of these. Ooh, I'm tempted to select one of these. There's one I usually use though. It's probably under cart funnels right now. It is right here. So I usually use this one for the hackathon. So that is very cool. They've added some brand new templates I didn't even know about in here. Even more templates. Oh, it's awesome. Okay, so we're going to use this one right here under cart funnels. It has a book on it. It's listed under cart funnels, but it'll still work. So I'm going to click here on select this funnel. It's going to add the funnel right into my account. But I'm a sub user on Sarah's account, so I have to add it to my account. For most of you, it'll just load it right into your own account. If you're a sub user on someone else's account, it'll ask you whose account you want to add it to. All right. So that is loading up for me here. And there we go. The funnel is in my account. I should have to click here on view funnel. And then it loads the funnel up for me. And look at this. It already has the step here. So this is called my funnel step sequence here on the left. This is like the sequence, the order of my funnel steps. And you'll see here, each step has a name, and then it has the type of page that it is. So we have an order form step, an OTO step, or an upsell step. Again, two different terminologies for the same thing, and an OTO downsell step. So, and then an order confirmation. This downsell page, this can be used in this type of funnel. It could certainly work. The way a downsell works is you'll only see this downsell page if someone says no to your offer on your upsell page. So on this upsell page, we're going to set it up so they can say yes or no to our offer. If they say no, they'd see this page, but if they said yes, they would skip to this page. That is really cool, but it's not what I put in my framework. I want to say upsell, whether they say yes or no here, go to another upsell. So I basically, where do we go here? I basically need to go to two OTO pages, OTO page, but I have OTO page, OTO downsell page. So if you wanted to give them a different offer, if they said no, you could certainly keep that in there, but we're going to go upsell. So what I'm going to do is click on this red X on my downsell page. It's just going to delete that step out of there. Then I'm going to show you guys a cool little trick here. My upsell page, I'm going to use basically the same layout as this second upsell page. So what I'm going to do with this upsell step selected, or OTO step, I'm going to click right here on clone funnel step. This is going to create an exact duplicate of this page inside of my funnel. So I'm going to click this, makes a duplicate of the page, but it does add it into this other funnel steps dropdown right here. It doesn't add it to my current step sequence. So all I do is click right here on add to funnel, and boom, I have it in here. And all I need to do is click and drag, and I can rearrange the order of the funnel steps. So we're going to put it right there. So now the order of pages people will see is order form, upsell 1, upsell 2, order confirmation. That's what I want. That's perfect. Now, if I ever wanted to rename, see it says two-step order form here, OTO. If I ever wanted to rename the title of these, we do that right in the settings gear right here. So let's start at the top here. Let's say I wanted two-step order form. I wanted this step to actually be called like Greg's book. All I do is go into this little settings gear right here. It says two-step order. We'll change this to Greg's book or Greg's free book, something like that, right? And then it updates here. Now, only I ever see these titles of the funnel steps. So it's not a big deal if it says something weird or something, right? I'm the only person that will see these inside of my ClickFunnels account. But if you want to rename them, that's how you do it. Okay, so we have our step sequence here, right? Order form, upsell step, order confirmation. That's exactly what I wanted to create here. So we have our sequence in order and it's all set. But before I start working on this funnel, there is something else I want to do. At the top, there's this blue toolbar here. We have a funnel settings button right here. This is like our general funnel-wide settings. See right here, this is the name of my funnel, two-step tripwire 2. I want to call it like virtual hackathon book funnel. So what I'm going to do is go into the settings right here. We're going to configure some stuff for this funnel. So first off, I'm going to change the name. We're going to call it the virtual hackathon book funnel from 06/29/2020. I put the date at the end of mine. I just do that because I build this funnel every single week. In fact, twice this week for you guys here in the hackathons. So it's just to help me keep things organized. You don't necessarily have to do that. Then over here on the right, this is what controls which of those group tags my funnel will show up in my big list of funnels. So right now it's in one called shared funnels. I can click this X. I could make a brand new folder or group tag in that list by just typing in the name of it. And I actually have one already called new folder. So I'm just going to add it to that one. So if I type in the name of one that already exists and click on the little tag, it will now show up in that folder in my list of funnels. Or if I made a brand new one, it would add that folder and it'd be the only one in there. Now, there's a few things I'm going to set here. Don't worry if you don't have some of these things set up in your ClickFunnels account yet. Once I'm done setting it all up, I'm going to show you where you can find out how to do what I'm about to do. So first off, custom domains. Right now, all my pages in my funnel will all show up on what's called my ClickFunnels subdomain. So all the pages, if someone visits them, it'll say like, it'll say gregorycf.clickfunnels.com. I wanted to say like virtualhackathons.com instead of that. I would have to connect virtualhackathons.com to my ClickFunnels account, and then I'd be able to select it from this dropdown. So I have a few different ones connected to this ClickFunnels account. We're just going to use gregorycf.com. So now all my pages will show up on that domain. Then I also use something called an SMTP integration. SMTP integration is what handles the delivery of any emails that I design and schedule inside of my ClickFunnels account. I have more than one connected to my ClickFunnels account, so I'm just going to select the one I want to handle the delivery of any of my emails in this funnel. And then down here, so we have an order form on this funnel. Whenever you use an order form, you need something called a payment gateway. And my payment gateway is what handles the processing of credit cards on my order form. So I can design the order form, set up all my products right inside of my funnel, but I need the payment gateway to handle like the super secure processing of credit cards. My favorite one is called Stripe. There are other payment gateways you can use, but in my opinion, Stripe is the most user-friendly and easiest one to set up. I have a few connected to this ClickFunnels account, so I'm just going to make sure I select the account that I want any of the sales from this funnel to go into. Once the sales go into my Stripe account, they send the money right into my bank account so I can get paid. And we're going to turn on test mode right now so that we can test our funnel before we send anyone to it. Then I'm just going to scroll down here and click on Save and Update Settings. Now, if you don't have a domain, you don't have an SMTP, you don't have a payment gateway, don't worry, I have you covered. So all you have to do is get back into that virtual hackathon membership area. And it's all this stuff here under the tech stuff. So my top 4 pre-funnel building secrets, you can get it here or even on virtualhackathons.com at the bottom of virtualhackathons.com. These are the same videos. In these videos, I teach you, wrong one here. Let me close some stuff. In these videos, I teach you how to connect your custom domain, how to create your own personal email address. So say I connected Gregory at virtualhackathons.com and I wanted to send email, or say I connected virtualhackathons.com to my ClickFunnels account and I want to send emails from Gregory at virtualhackathons.com. This video here will show you how you can set that up. how to connect your SMTP integration so that you can get all your emails delivered from ClickFunnels, and how to create your payment gateway. So all these videos are right here. Go through them. They're each about 10 to 15 minutes long. Once you have all that set up, you'll be able to select them from your funnel settings just like I just did. So again, it's available on virtualhackathons.com or under the tech stuff, the tech stuff section here in the Virtual Hackathon membership area. All right, back to my funnel. We have our funnel setting set. See my domains now, gregorycf.com. What we're going to do, well, we're going to go through each step of the funnel here so I can show you guys exactly what you need for each step to function properly. But especially since we have upsell or OTO pages here, we actually need to add our products first, because I can't set up a one-click upsell on an upsell page without having the product added to the products tab for that funnel step first. So what I'm going to do first here, before we get into the editor and design these pages, we're going to add our products. So on my first step of my funnel, I'm going to sell a book, and I'm going to have a little order bump on that two-step order form. So we'll say it's like Greg's 3 funnel templates. Then on my first OTO or upsell page, we're going to sell an audiobook on its own or an audiobook plus some training programs. Then on the second upsell page, we're going to sell a traffic course. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products to add to this funnel. So the way it works in ClickFunnels is each product gets added to the individual funnel steps. So if on my order form I'm selling the free book and my order bump templates, I add those products just to this funnel step. So on this funnel step, I'm going to click here on products. Then I'm going to click here on add product. And you'll see it just walks you through all the potential settings you can set up when adding a product. You're going to see here we aren't going to use most of them. So we have 5 products to add. This first product, I'm going to go through all these optional settings for you guys so you understand what they're all for and what they're used for. But then we're only going to, after this product, we're only going to use the settings we need. We have five to add. It's a lot. So we're going to select integrations here. This is where I choose my Stripe payment gateway. Then we can choose whether it's going to be a subscription product, a payment plan, or a one-time purchase product. Selling a book, so it's just going to be one time. And I'll click Save and Next here. It's going to take me over to product details. Now, product details has a bunch of information in here we will only ever fill in, or sorry, that we will always fill in. Product name, always needed. This is the name of the product that's going to show up on our order form. So I'm just going to call this Greg's book. Then price, this is how much they'll be charged if they purchase the product. I'm going to put $7.95, $7.95, but it's free, right? So we have something here called a price display override. Whatever I put in here will override $7.95 on the order form. So right now on the order form, it would just display simply $7.95. If I come into here and I put free plus $7.95 shipping and handling, now this will display on the order form. You can also change currency. Down here we have some options for something called a shipping origin address and whether we want to make it a taxable product. We would only use these settings if you're using something called the Avalara sales tax integration, which currently only works in the United States. It's a tax integration that'll automatically calculate taxes for you. More often than not, we just end up eating the cost of tax in our funnel, but you can automate it. It is a separate integration. And in the Virtual Hackathon membership area, under bonus videos, there's actually a video here that'll teach you how to do it. It's a 20-minute video of how to set it up. I would add 20 minutes to our presentation today, so we aren't going to set that up in my funnel. We're going to skip that. It's not necessary. And we'll do billing description. This is always needs to be filled in. This is what's going to show up on their credit card statement. So in here, I'm going to put simply Greg's book. And I didn't use an apostrophe on Greg's. It's not because I'm horrible at grammar, although I actually am. It's because I can only use numbers and letters in a credit card description or a billing description. So it's going to show up on their statement. There's also a 22 character limit. So I usually just put the name of my product here, but if it was too long, I might have to make some abbreviations. Make sure whatever you put in here makes sense. So I could technically put like Turtles rock, right? Turtles are awesome. I can put anything I want in here. I want them to read this, recognize what it is, and just keep reading their credit card statement, right? If I put something silly in here, they're going to question that, maybe do a chargeback. Just make sure they read it and they understand it. Product description, you can put a longer product description here if you want. I'm just going to put the name of my product again. And then we have the options to make this the order bump product. So the product that will be purchased if they check the little box on the order form. We're actually going to use that setting on our next product, which is going to be my funnel templates. So we're going to leave that turned off for now. All we would have to do is toggle it on. We can also set something called a product inventory limiter. So we could say I only had like 100 books I wanted to sell and I didn't want to accidentally sell more than I actually had in my inventory. It's really useful for those of you doing cart funnels as well. Set a maximum limit here and say, hey, once I've sold 100, don't let any more people purchase from me. And I'll actually display on the order form like 98 out of 100 remaining, 97 out of 100 remaining as people make purchases from your funnel. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to sell as many as I possibly can. So we're going to leave it turned off. Click Save and Next. And then we get the option here for something called product variations. Now, I'm selling a book, so this won't really make sense, but this is more for, say you were selling like a t-shirt and you wanted people to choose like what size of t-shirt it is. You could put size in here, and then in here we'd put like small, medium, large. And then we'd have to use a special order form element and it would allow them to choose which variation they want. But I'm selling just one book, so I won't have any product variations. Hit Save and Next. Next up, we get something called a fulfillment email. Give this a second here. If we turn on the fulfillment email, we could set up a little email here that'll automatically go out to everyone who completes a purchase of this product. But what I'm going to do is actually send my fulfillment email through a follow-up funnel, right? I actually have that planned right here for everyone who makes it on my purchasers list. The reason I'm going to do that through a follow-up funnel instead of through my product settings right here is because when I send an email through a follow-up funnel, I get information back from it. This email right here, it'll go out and we don't know if they clicked on it or anything like that. So whenever I can, if I'm a ClickFunnels Platinum member, I always send my email from a follow-up funnel. This is going to tell me things like how many people clicked the link, how many people even opened the email, how many people unsubscribed as a result of that email, how many sales I got as a result of that email, each individual person it was sent to, what actions they took on that email. Get all kinds of information. When I do the email from here, I get none of that. So we're going to send our fulfillment email from there. But if you really wanted to, you could even do both. You could send one from here and one from the follow-up funnel. But I think it makes more sense to just send it right from the follow-up funnel. So I'm going to leave it turned off, click Save and Next. And now we get follow-up actions. We are actually going to use this. We're going to turn this on. Select ClickFunnels Internal. Down here, we're going to select Add to List, and we're going to add them to our book buyers list. Only problem is we haven't created our list yet, so I can't connect it yet. So we have to leave this turned off for now. After we create all our lists, we're going to come back and connect this right here. So we'll leave it off for now. Click Save and Next. And then we have something called shipping integration. So we can integrate with different fulfillment centers to automate the shipping of our sales. Now, this will be especially useful for those of you selling physical products, but I don't recommend doing this until you absolutely need to. So what you can do is send your inventory to like a distribution center a fulfillment center, and they will handle the delivery of any of your sales for you. So there's a few different ones we connect to. If you go to help.clickfunnels.com or go to help in docs and just search shipping integrations, they'll all pop up. One of the most popular ones seems to be ShipStation. So what I could do is, say I had a box with like 1,000 copies of my book. I could send that big box of books over to ShipStation, open an account with ShipStation, then connect my account to my ClickFunnels account and say, hey, anytime a purchase of this product goes through, send that purchase information over to ShipStation. And then they'll take one of those books, put it in a smaller box, put a printing label on it for me, and send it out for me, which is awesome, right? I don't have to worry about fulfillment. But I highly recommend, and like, especially if you're just getting started out, don't do this until you need to. You can fulfill your orders manually until it gets to the point where you don't need to, until it gets to the point where you just can't handle it anymore. Because if you're only selling like 1 or 2 books a week, it's not really worth it. Like ShipStation obviously doesn't do this for free. And there's all kinds of time and energy going into opening the account, connecting it to ClickFunnels. There's all kinds of work and stuff involved. What you can do, if you're like me, you're probably only going to make a few sales, so we'll turn this off and just click Save and Next. That'll take us to the summary here. But afterwards, once we get some sales, if we go to the Sales tab right here, you can download all of the sales. I'll have all the shipping information in the spreadsheet that downloads. So what I would do is just a couple times a week, hit download, have a few boxes at home, take my books, put them in my own box, put the shipping label on myself, take them to the post office myself. But once it gets to the point where you can't, shipping integrations are amazing. But we actually just added our first product, guys. If we go back to the products tab here for this funnel step, we see Greg's book in there. We have to add 4 more products. So we're gonna do this a little bit quicker. We're gonna first add my funnel templates to my 2-step order form here for my order bump. So I'm gonna select my Stripe integration here, click on it, click Save and Next. Nope. See, I unclicked it there. You have to have something clicked here to go to next. So we'll click next here. Put in my product name. So this is going to be Greg's Funnel Templates. We're going to sell this for $37. Now, another thing I'm going to do is open up Notepad on my computer. This is just the Notepad app on my computer. And I'm just going to put in the price of my order bump on here. I'm going to put $37. Just writing it down for when we edit the funnel step later. And we'll scroll down here. Billing description. Put Greg's Funnel Templates. Hey, fit. That there as well. And this is the order bump. So all I have to do is toggle this on. And then I'm all set. All right, so we'll click Save and Next here. Actually, guys, I hit Save and Next, but we didn't actually use any of these optional settings, right? So we're just hit Save and Close. And there we go. Go back to the Products tab. You have the book and the order bump. So there's our first 2 products. We also have upsell steps, right? The OTO steps. My first OTO upsell right here. We're going to go to the Products tab for this funnel step. This is where I was going to have the audiobook or the option for the audiobook plus some training programs. So we have 2 different options on this one. So I'm going to add a product, Stripe, one time, Save and Next. This one's going to be Greg's audiobook. What should we make the price of the audiobook? Try to like incrementally increase the prices of my upsells as they go through here. So let's just say on this one, what do you guys think? 67, does that sound okay? Do 67 for the audiobook, but then the second option is going to be the audiobook plus training. We could then make that like, does 97 sound good to you guys? I think that's pretty good. So we'll do 67, then 97. Oh. Alexander says that's ballin'. It could be less. We could do less. But just remember my order bump was 37. And I want to increase a bit here. We could do like 47. That might be more reasonable for an audiobook. And then 97, the training program's got to have tons of value. Okay. And then let's do the traffic course. It's going to be my third upsell. I'll make that one like $297. And that's going to be a huge traffic course where they get lifetime access to it. It's going to be my big high ticket upsell. Okay, that's our pricing structure. And again, like we can test things out here. If it's not converting, we can change things around, but that's what we'll go with. Okay, so this is the audiobook. We're going to put 47. And then all I need to do for what we're setting up is put the description. So we'll put Greg's audiobook. Oop. And that's all I need to do. So we'll just hit save and close. I'm not using any of those optional settings for this product. If we go back to the products tab for my first upsell step here, the audiobook, we're going to add one more product to this tab. So I select my payment gateway, one-time purchase, save and next. Same thing over and over again here, just changing prices and titles. This is going to be Greg's audiobook plus training. And we said 97 for this one. Billing description. So it doesn't fit, right? Greg's audiobook plus training doesn't fit, so we'll say Greg's AB plus training. Oh, we can't even have a plus sign in there. Hey, we can fit it. There we go. And then just save and close. So if we go back to the products tab, we now have both those products on the first upsell step. So we had our second upsell step, which is going to be, oops. What did I just do? Oh, there you go. It's going to be the traffic course for $297. So we'll go to the products tab, add a product, Stripe, save it next. Be my traffic course. Sorry. $297. So I can't have that apostrophe there. There we go. Save and close. All right, we have all of our products added. Oh, I got logged out of my ClickFunnels account. That's weird. Hopefully my product still went through. I might have to redo that real quick. See, Alexander's asking, OTO1 is, no, Alexander, my order bump, I made 3 funnel templates. So I was just modeling the old traffic secrets funnel. So I had 3 funnel templates, or sorry, the old expert secrets funnel. 3 funnel templates, then the audiobook, then the audiobook plus training. So 2 options on the first upsell page, audiobook or audiobook plus training. Second upsell page was the traffic course. So that's what we went with there. So I'm just not sure if my product, oh, hey, it did get added. Perfect. Okay, so all my products are added. When it says, please explain what you're offering in the bump, 3 templates. So it's gonna, it's like, if they complete a purchase, we're gonna email them 3 share funnel URLs that give them access, or that allow them to click the button and load the funnels into their ClickFunnels account. But just something easy they can click on and add to their ClickFunnels account. Okay, so we have all our products added. We can actually scratch products off our list here, right? We have our pages added, but I want to make sure that you guys know how to set them up properly. So let's start with the order form step. Let's load this up in the editor. Now, I suspect we have some newer funnel hackers on the call today, and you might not be super familiar with using the ClickFunnels editor. What I recommend if you're not super familiar with using the ClickFunnels editor is loading up funnel builder secrets inside of FunnelFlix and going through modules, I believe it's 5 and 6. Let's find out. So here's my FunnelFlix dashboard. We scroll down to funnel building. There's a whole program here called Funnel Builder Secrets. If we click on that and then click on Start Course, it'll load up Funnel Builder Secrets for us. There we go. And right here, see there's this whole program from zero to launch, your first funnel. Highly, highly recommend going through this program. Absolutely amazing. Just gives you so much insight into using ClickFunnels, putting together your first funnel. Can't recommend it enough. I've been through it multiple times myself. Down here, modules 5, Power Editor Basics, module 6, Funnel Design. Module 5 will teach you how to use the editor really, really well. And module 6 will give you a lot of really great tips on how to create a really nice looking funnel. Highly recommend it, but I still want to give you guys a quick breakdown of how it all works. So it all starts with a background. And if you go to settings and then background, you can adjust what the background will be of your overall funnel step, the overall page, like what the page background is going to be. So you can make it an image or you can make it just a solid color. And this one's using an image. If we remove this image out of here, it kind of changed. But it's kind of hard to see, but there's like all kinds of like cool designs in the background. Beside the background image URL, there's a little button here. This is called your image library button. If we click on that, we can upload images from our computer into the ClickFunnels editor. There's even stock backgrounds in here as well. So we could change it to like one of these. But like if I wanted it to be this, for example, I could do that. See how it's kind of changed in the background? But notice how it's not like in that little preview, it's like this nice wood color. Notice how in here it's kind of like darkened. And the whole reason that happened is because we have something called sections. So on top of the background that we set, we can add sections, rows, columns, and elements. They're all up here. Our sections are these green outlines. See, this whole section has a black background. If we go into the settings of this section, see the background color is set to black. There's no image set. So that's why we're seeing that. This section below it, if we go into the settings of that one, has a black color set, but it's faded. And that's why we didn't see the color of the wood, because of this right here. I forget what it was. Here we go. So our sections are the green outlines. They all have their own settings. They can be cloned, saved, and deleted. They can be stacked on top of each other using these green plus signs. Right there. If we click on that, we can add another section below this, choose how wide it's going to be. Then inside of every section, we have our rows. If we add a row right here, see each row can have multiple columns. We could do like a 1 column. And each row has its own settings. It's going to be these blue outlines. It has its own settings. So we can put background colors and images on those as well. Then the rows can also be stacked on top of each other using these blue plus signs. So we can put a 2 column row below this. So the sections and the rows really make the template or like the layout of the page. And then inside of the columns of your rows is where you'll add your elements, which make up like all the content on the page. So that's where we could start adding in like images and videos. Just like the rows can be stacked with the blue button and the sections with the green button. Well, every element has this orange outline, which has its orange plus sign, which will allow us to stack elements on top of each other. And every element will have different settings, like a video element looks like this, image element looks a little different. We'll be using image elements a lot. You'll see just like my background I said earlier, there's an image setting here with that little button. Loads up my image library where I can upload my own images. So like here I have like the virtual hackathon logo, for example. I can pull it right onto the page. So all kinds of cool stuff you can do with this. Maybe like yellow. Maybe. So it takes a little bit of playing around with, but essentially the way it works is our elements go into the columns of our rows, right? Our rows go into the sections, and everything can sort of be stacked on top of each other. It's nice when you use a template. Most of the work's done for you, right? Here's the template that we selected. Most of the work's done for me. All I really need to do is update things to look good for my offer, right? So we have a logo up here. This is just an image element. Let's swap that out for the virtual hackathon logo. There we go. And then what's awesome about this two-step order form that we're using today, that makes creating an order form super easy. If it was a one-step order form, there's like specific elements we need to make sure are on the page for it to function properly. But what's really cool, if we add an element here for a two-step order form, it's just this element, two-step order form. It's all built into one element. It's all good to go. You just have to play around with the settings a little bit. Now, the editor actually just let me add this onto the page when it really shouldn't have. You should only have one order form for one page. If you have two like this, it can actually cause orders to fail. I wish it actually just wouldn't let me do that. Hopefully in the future it won't. For now, just make sure you only have one on your entire page. Liz was asking about the wood background. It was actually a different background on this page. I changed it, but that is actually a background. I bought it off like, forget where I bought it. I bought the background off of, I think it was Adobe stock images, like a really long time ago, and I've just had it in my account forever. But I'm going to show you where you can get some cool free images in a little bit here, Liz, don't worry. Okay, so this two-step order form element, we can do some changes to it. I'm going to go into the settings here, and these are the settings for a two-step order form element. You'll see we can preview step 1 or step 2. We're currently looking at step 1. So I'm going to leave it on step 1. You'll see right here, edit step 1 settings. Normally this will be set to hide. So if we want to see all the different setting options we have just for the first step of our two-step order form, we have to hit this drop down, select show step 1 settings. And then we can change things, like where it says, where should we ship it? We can make that say anything we want. Shipping info. Where should I send order book? Whatever you want to say. You'll see as you're updating it, it updates on the step that we're previewing. So you can scroll through here, find all the different settings. Now, this one's collecting full name, email address, phone number, and shipping info. I don't necessarily have to collect all that information, but I don't see anywhere to like turn some of it off. What you would need to do is go over to the advanced settings, and you'll see we can toggle off phone number, and we can toggle off shipping info. So we could collect just name and email address on here if we wanted to. But if I'm sending them a physical book, I have to collect their shipping info, so we'll show that. And then we could collect phone number as well. But for me, I find people are really like weary or like skeptical of giving people their phone number. So unless I have like some type of like marketing follow-up through their phone number, I'm going to turn this off. If I don't need to contact them by phone number for any reason, I'm not going to include it. But if I do, I would leave it. Let's just say I'm not, so I'll hide that. The goal is you want to make it as easy as possible for someone to fill in this form. but if you were following up by phone in some means, you would need their phone number, so leave that on. We're just gonna say I'm not. So there's step one. I'm gonna come back up to the top, go and hide step one settings. And then step two settings, we're gonna say show. Notice I don't actually see what step two looks like. So we just have to click on this little eyeball right here, and then we can see what step two looks like. So in step two, where we have the order selector, in the editor, this will always say dynamically updated, but on the live page, it's gonna pull through those products that I added to the products tab. So remember, I added the book plus the order bump, which was the templates, right? So they're only gonna have one option in the order selector. It's just gonna be Greg's book, free plus $7.95 shipping and handling. And then if they click this little box down here, that's what's gonna add the funnel templates for $37. There's also an element right here called the order summary element. This will dynamically update based on what was selected here, or if this gets clicked or not. And I'll show you guys in a second, but basically, it'll always say dynamically updated in the editor, but on the live page, it'll pull through the products we added earlier to that products tab. So in here, we can change some things. Now, sometimes you might add an order bump, come in here, and you won't see the order bump element in here. This is the order bump element. If you don't see that, you just go to advanced. That can be toggled off as well. Then down here is where you can actually edit it. And this is why I put that price on my notepad here, mostly because my short-term memory sucks. But see how if we don't anywhere in here currently mention that, hey, if you check this box, you're gonna get charged $37. That's why I wrote it down. We need to make sure that it's really clear, like if you check this, you'll be charged $37. So in here it says, yes, I will take it. I'm gonna change that to yes, I want Greg's templates, something like that. And then one-time offer, I'm gonna switch to only $37. See how it's updating. And then all this gibberish here in OTO text, I'm gonna change that to, this will be the description of Greg's 3 funnel templates and everything you get when you check the box above. So that's why your order bump should just be something really simple to explain. Our whole sales page here is dedicated to selling the book. I want to make sure this is just something that's like, hey, yes, I want that. That makes sense. They check the box and they get it. Russell always says, thinks of it like as like those items you see at the checkout of the grocery store. It's like, oh, gum, yeah, that's right there. I'll just take it, put it in. Something simple. They can see it, read it, understand it, get it really quickly. And that's all we really need to do on here, guys. One thing I do change sometimes, see my credit card element here? We scroll through here. This only works if you're using Stripe as your payment gateway. Just a Stripe layout 3 field, change it to 1, and then we should get a nice 1-line credit card element. There we go. If we save this page, come back to that in a second, in preview, show you guys, if we fill in step 1 here, go to step 2. See, on here it does say Greg's book, 3 plus 795 shipping and handling. There's the order summary. If I check this box, oh, it disappeared for some reason. That shouldn't happen. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Should have just added my order bump onto that order summary element. Looks like they're using some custom code in this template. So I might have to adjust that, but that's why you test it too, right? So we'll have to figure out what's going on there. But that should have added $37 into that order summary. But all the products are there, so that's good. Might have to look into that. But as for design on this page, we have a few things to update on here. Now, one thing that always happens whenever I use this 2-step order form element seems to only happen when I start editing those step 2 settings, I don't see the top of my page anymore. It's cutting off the top. So what we're going to do is save here, exit, and reload the editor. I've already let the team know about this, so hopefully this is fixed shortly. But then we get the top of our page back. All right, so a couple things on this page. We have an image of a book over here. I recommend if you're doing like a book, or even if you're selling some type of physical product, get a picture of that product or make a mock-up. So like, obviously this isn't a real book, but someone made a little image on top of it. I've made a few mock-ups. I personally just made them in Photoshop because I'm okay at using Photoshop. I don't recommend trying to do it yourself in Photoshop. It's a very complicated software. But there are lots of services online that can create a mock-up for you. I know canva.com has some mock-up templates. It's a free, you can use that one for free actually, canva.com. But will take a little bit of work. It may not be perfect. A lot of times I just recommend going to like funnelrolodex.com or fiverr.com and just paying someone to do it for you. You can get it done for like $5. You get little mock-ups like this. So like this is my book, How to Run a Virtual Hackathon. Now, when I add an image in here, this is just an image element like we've been using, we can adjust the width and the height. I'm only going to do one or the other. Watch, if I do like 450 here, you could set width as well and make like a really weird looking image, right? If you just do width or you just do height, it'll update the other accordingly. So let's do, I don't know, 600. It's pretty good. And then every element will have this top margin. Look at this, moves it around. So top margin just controls how close or far away your image is from either the top of the column or from the element above it. So it's just adding space to the top of my element here, really. I'm just going to try to line it up with my order form here. There we go. So there's the free book you can get. Down here, I have another image of that book. I'm going to swap that out. Go. And then, let's see. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to put my logo here. So just a bunch of image elements right now. Now, anywhere that I see text on here, it's just a simple matter of clicking in the text and editing it. Finally, we'll say finally, a book on running hackathons. Something like that, right? So anywhere you see text, you're going to update the text to pertain to your offer and to your product. We're not going to spend a ton of time on copy. There's tons of copy training inside of FunnelFlix. So make sure you go through some of that. In that course I showed you earlier, Funnel Builder Secrets, there's a whole module here just on copy. It is important, so make sure you go through that. All right, before we leave this step, we're going to do a few things. We're going to go to Settings and SEO Metadata. See this title right here? So it's showing up in my browser tab right now. So we're going to update that. I'm going to say Greg's free book. And now it's updated. Now, at the bottom of this SEO Metadata tab, it says Greg, there's two little sample previews down here. This first one is what it's going to look like if someone finds this page on Google search engine. And the second one is what it's going to look like if someone shares this page on Facebook. This description is actually showing up in both. So we're going to update this description. See how it updated on both. And then we can enter keywords here. These are keywords that people can search to find this page in like Google or Yahoo or wherever. So I could do like funnels, funnel building. Now they are comma separated. So funnel building is 2 words, but I put a little comma at the end and it separates. Then we have author here. Your own name or your company name. And then we can put a social image here. So a social image, you may have seen this before. If you've ever shared a URL on Facebook, like a link to a page, notice it pulls through a little image with it. We can actually control what that image will be. So we click the little image button, takes us right back into the image library. And in this image library, I could choose one of my own images. So I could upload it, choose it from here. But I want to show you guys something else, right? I showed you there's like background images. There's some like basic stock images in here. But what's really cool is in this search option, this was, I think it was Liz was asking about that background image. I said I'd show you where you guys can find some free images. Right here under search, we can search these 3 different websites for royalty-free images. Any images we find from these 3 websites are completely free to use. We don't have to worry about anyone owning the rights to these images. So it's pretty sweet. If we search in here, let's just say book. All these free book images. We double click on one of these images, it'll load it right into our image library. There's also icon finder. This one will find more like icons than stock photos. So this can be useful in certain cases. And Unsplash typically gives me the best results. Let's see, all kinds of free images to use in here. So if you see one you like, double click on it, and then it'll just pull it right into your image library. And there you go. So you can probably find some cool background images in there as well. Now there are other places you can find free images online. You just type in Google free images, or you can even buy images online as well. You would just upload those from your computer after downloading them off those other pages. But those options are cool because you don't have to leave the editor to find them. All right, so we'll save this page. One thing we'll check before we leave is we're going to go to settings and then general. Right here where it says search engines, we're going to make sure that's set to show. Different options we can select here, right? Show or hide. If I set it to hide, this page won't be findable in search engines. So we're going to leave that set to show. We're going to make sure this first step of our funnel, we want people to find this in search engines, right? So we're going to leave it set to show. But all my upsell steps and everything after this, I only want people to be able to visit those pages if they've actually purchased the first product here. So every step after this, we're going to set it to hide. But if we didn't do that, people could just like search our domain in a search engine and find all our upsell pages and like funnel hack us for free, which we don't want to happen. But let's keep moving. We have a lot to cover here. I've been getting distracted by different things. We'll do our first upsell page here. Load this up in the editor. This page, basically they've completed a purchase on the previous step, right? And then I'm going to give them 2 different options. I'm going to say you can purchase my audiobook on itself for $47. You just click this button, you'll instantly be charged. Or you can click this other button over here. You look at the audiobook plus all these training programs for $97. Just click here to get that. So the template I have here is more set up for like one option. They have a video describing what that option is going to be. We're just going to delete that row and start from scratch here. So what I'm going to do is below this row is add a 2-column row. So again, to add rows, we hit our blue plus sign. Select a 2-column row. And what I'm going to do is in this right-hand column, I'm going to give them the option for my audiobook on itself. And in the left-hand column, I'm going to give them the option for the audiobook plus training programs. So let's start with the audiobook. First thing I'm going to add in this column is an image element. So I just click on add new element, select image. We'll go into the settings of the image element, click on our little image button here, And I have a little mock-up made for this as well. So again, I just created it in Photoshop and then uploaded it from my computer into here. Again, if I didn't know how to use Photoshop personally, I'd probably just pay someone on Fiverr to design this for me. Or funnelrolodex.com. Now, this image, obviously too big, right? So let's use the height setting here. We'll make it quite a bit smaller. So I'm just adjusting the size of the pixels. Next, what I'm going to do is below the image of this upsell, I'm going to add a button element. So I'm going to add an element, select button, go into the settings of this button element. See, by default, it says click to sign up. Warning, button action not set. So the button action is what's going to happen when someone clicks this button. Well, we want when someone clicks this button is for them to be charged $47, right? That was the price that I set for my audiobook, $47. So if we click on the set action button at the top of our button settings, you'll see one-click upsell, Greg's audiobook, or one-click upsell, Greg's audiobook plus training. We just it pulls through the products from my product tab. That's why we had to set up the products first before working on this page. So we'll just select Greg's audiobook here. And now when they click this button, that's all you have to do. They'll get charged $47 using the credit card that they used on the previous step of the page. So one-click upsell, they just click once and they get charged. So I probably don't want this to say click to sign up, right? I want to make it very clear that, hey, if you click this button, you're going to get charged $47. So first thing I'm going to do is in the button text here, I'm just going to make it say something like purchase audio book. See how it's updating the button for me as I fill it in? Then I'm going to add subtext and say to instantly be charged $47. Then with a button, we can do all kinds of cool things. So like down here under font family, we can change the font, any font we want. There's all these additional fonts from Google as well, so tons of options. I'm going to put this one here. All right, so change the font. We can adjust the size of the font. We can make it massive or small. Can adjust the subtext size. However you want that to look. And we can even change the color of the text or the color of the button itself. So I'm going to make mine more like an orange color. There we go. Now, some other cool things you can do. Well, one, you can look at the themes. These are button themes. So if I clicked on one of these, it would just replace this button with the style of one of these buttons. It's like a design theme. If we go to advanced, there's all kinds of settings we can set in here. So play around with these. There's a lot of them. Encourage you guys to like play around in the editor as much as you can, because it's just how you're going to learn to use a lot of the like special settings. There's a lot in here. On your own time, go through some of these. We'll use a few of them. Some of the ones I really like is here under icon picker. I like to use this one. So if you click on icon picker, it opens up this little box with all these different icons on it. You'll see if I click on them, it adds it to the beginning of my button. So I'm going to add one that's actually a cart. Boom, little plus sign cart. There's all kinds of other cool ones too. Like you can add an icon to the end of it as well. You might have like an arrow or something. Lots to choose from. You can add little button effects, make it rock and stuff like that. But I think I'm going to leave mine just like this. We might move it up a little bit with our top margin here. All right, so if they click here, they'll get charged $47. There is another way that we can have them click and be charged $47. So this is a button link. You can also use what's called a hyperlink. A hyperlink is just like clickable text essentially. So we could create clickable text. They click on the text, they'll get charged $47. So what I could do, don't do this part, guys. I could add a subheadline here and make it say, like, click here to purchase the audiobook for $47. But I want to show you guys a little trick. I'm going to delete this one. See, I already have some text on my page here. It says, do not close this page. It'll be redirected to my reader in 3 seconds. I'm going to change what that says. But what we can do is, if I have text on my page already that I really like, instead of adding a new text element and trying to match the settings so it looks the same as this, every element has this little clone button here. Right beside, if you hover over it, get your orange outline, right beside the delete trash can, there's a clone button. If I click that, I get an exact copy. And now what I can do is actually drag that down here, click in it, and make it say whatever I want, right? So it just saves me a little time with having to like set settings and stuff like that. I just change it to say whatever I want. Purchase audiobook for $47. I'm going to highlight this text, click on this little chain link. Now, when I click on that little chain link, and again, let me do that again for you guys. Highlight the text, click on this chain link. It opens up this little field. And in this field, there's a little hashtag in there. Beside that hashtag, we're going to type in yes-link. This is called a short code. This short code, yes-link, will purchase whatever the first product was that we added to our products tab, which in our case was the audiobook, which we know is $47. To purchase the second product we added in, which was the audiobook plus training for $97, we would use a different short code. That short code would be yes-link-2. But we'll use that on our next one. Once we have that short code in there, we can click on this little color block right here, and we can change the color of the text. And Adam just posted the link for all the different short codes in the chat. There you go, guys. So we can click here, or we can click here to be charged $47, and we want to make it over here to purchase the audiobook plus training for $97. So I'm going to use that same cloning feature I just showed you guys. I'm going to clone this, drag this over to the other side, clone my button, drag it over to the other side, and clone my text and drag it over. Then what I'm going to do is just update these for my next product. So I'm going to go into the image, go to my image button, and I have a little mock-up for this as well. There's my audiobook and training program. Then the button, we'll go into the settings of the button, set the action, and we just need to switch it from Greg's audiobook to Greg's audiobook plus training. So now if they click this button, they'll actually be charged $97. So we need to update this button, right? It says 47. If they click it, they'll actually be charged 97. That would not be good. I have a lot of angry customers. So we're going to update what the button says here. So instead of purchase audiobooks, we purchase audiobook and training. Now notice it moved it to 2 lines. So if I wanted to keep it lined up with this one, I just have to adjust my font size a little bit. There we go. And then where it says click to instantly be charged 47, I want to change that to 97. And that'll work. That should work, right? Then down here, it says purchase audiobook for 47. Well, we're going to just erase all that text. So we just click inside the text, erase it. And then we're going to type in purchase audiobook plus training for $97. Okay, so now what we'll do is go into the settings. Oh, sorry, no. We'll highlight this text, hit the little chain link icon here. It opens up that field for short codes again, and we'll type in yes-link-2. That purchases the second product I added to my products tab. Then I'll click on the color block here, and we'll just make that white as well. So now they can click here or here to be charged $97, or here to be charged $47. Now, the way I have it set up right now, actually none of the options will work. Anyone know why none of these options will work? Can anyone guess? I've given them lots of options to say yes here, but have I given them any option to say no? I haven't. So I have to have the option to say no here somewhere on my page. I can't like strong arm people and be like, hey, all you can do on this page is purchase something from me. We have to give them the option to say no. And it makes sense too. So if I didn't give them the option to say no here and they didn't want either of these, then they'll just close the browser. They'll never see my next upsell step. There's still a chance they might be interested in that. So what we're going to do is we'll just add a 1-column row below this. I'm just going to clone one of my text elements here and drag it into that 1-column row. Erase that. And we'll just say, no, thank you. I don't need this. Something like that, right? And then we'll just highlight that text. Click on the chain link icon. Does anyone know what the no shortcode is going to be? Maybe someone already read the article. Well, the other one was yes-link or yes-link-2. So just makes sense that this one would be no-link. And then we can make that whatever color we want. So they can click here or here to be charged $97, here or here to be charged $47, or here to just simply say no, get taken to the next step of my funnel without being charged anything. I see this all the time, guys. I'll see people try to like hide the no option. Just such a bad move. Like, make sure it's there and visible. We don't want people to feel like they're being forced into buying things. Remember, this funnel especially is a lot of people's first time ever buying from you. So you want to create great buying experiences so that they'll want to come back and buy from you again. It's a great quote. It's, you can sell to your customers as long as you keep selling to them or you offend them. We don't want to offend them. So I like to make it nice and bright. They see it, it's there. I want them to return and buy more things from me. So make sure you have it on there. Don't try to hide this. I have it right below my buying options. All right, so that's basically all we need to do, guys. This will now work for us. All the rest, like update your copy and everything so it makes sense for your offer. Update your logos and all that fun stuff. What we're going to do is go to Settings, SEO Metadata. Remember, this page I'm going to hide from search engines. So in the title here, I'm going to change this to like Greg's audiobook or something like that, right? But description, keywords, all this stuff, notice how it's not even filled in this template. I would erase all of that because no one's going to see this in the search engine. So I'm going to go to Settings and General, where it says Search Engines Show. I'm going to set this to hide. And again, this is because I only want people to find this page if they've purchased the book before this. I don't want people to type in gregorycf.com, find this page, and funnel hack me for free. If they want to funnel hack me, they got to pay for it. All right, so we'll click out of here, click Save in the top right, and this step should now work. Then we have our second OTO page, and this is really just the same thing that we just set up, just with one option. So we have a video here. I'm going to delete this video. A video is great. Could use a video. But I'm just going to add in an image. Go into the settings here. Under image, I have a little mock-up for this. There we go. Way too big, right? Let's make this like, no. There we go. So there's my mock-up for my traffic course. And since we've already done this once, guys, we're just going to use the button that we have. We're going to set the action here. We are going to set this. It's already set to Greg's traffic course, so that's good. Set download now. We're going to say traffic course. And then we'll say click to. This one was $297. There we go. Now we don't have to have both the button and text link is an option. We'll delete that. And then we have a no option on here. And it's set to no link. So that should be good. We'll just use this to save time, we'll just use that. Again, I would update the SEO metadata and set this to hide. Save that and exit. And then we have the order confirmation page. So we're going to load this up in the editor. This page, the most important element is this one right here. If we add an element to the page, it would be this order confirmation element right here. What this element does is it pulls through any of the products that were purchased on the previous steps of the funnel and displays them all for people right here. Now, in the settings, it's all pretty straightforward. The one thing I usually do, since I'm a platinum member, is where it says download text, I usually erase that. That's for fulfillment purposes for users that don't have the 297. We're going to use a follow-up funnel to fulfill anything, so we're going to do it from there. Now, what we're going to do is say, instead of access your order, we would say like access your receipt. And then we scroll down, he's saying, step 2, watch this important video. And then there'll be links to other things. So this is pretty much what most people would refer to as an offer wall. And here we say like the next step. So a lot of time, like we're gonna like close the loop on this funnel, but a lot of times we'll give people the options to visit other funnels that we have. So it's a great opportunity to move people up our value ladder. A lot of times you'll see like, they'll just say like, hey, have you seen these other great offers? And I'll have like a few links to other funnels. So it's just buttons linking to other funnels that you have available. This funnel, they're modeling what Russell did on the old .com secrets funnel where he is literally saying, watch this free unadvertised bonus training. And he had a recording of his funnel hacks webinar right here on the page. And then he just had one button under that video. So maybe not two. And instead of it being like join the newsletter, he's like, purchase funnel hacks, purchase this special offer, whatever it was. And then under action for the button, you click on set action and you just put in the URL of that funnel. So let's just sample URL here. I put in traffic secrets here and set it to open in a new tab / window. If they click on this button now, I'll take them there. So in the webinar recording, there's a call to action at the end. It's like click the button below to get the software, and then they click the button, takes them to another funnel. It's an order form for another funnel. So a lot of times it'll just be like, have you seen these other great offers? Like get a free copy of Traffic Secrets, get a free copy of .com Secrets, or get my awesome course. Just like buttons to other funnels that you have. Because a lot of times when people get to the end of a funnel, yes, we want to close that loop for people, but some people will still be in buying mode. Okay, what do I need to do next? And if they see it here, sometimes they'll just do it. It's a great opportunity to get eyes on some of your other offers. That's what we're going to do there. Our funnel should actually function. We have all of our pages, all of our products done. Scratch those off here. That's basically what I call the front end funnel, right? It's the front end experience someone can go through. But now what happens after someone goes through our funnel, whether they buy or not, we can automate what will happen. So we're going to say, anytime someone fills in step 1 of our 2-step order form, add them to our didn't purchase list. Anytime someone then completes a purchase, add them to our purchasers list. And then we're going to connect both those lists to follow-up funnel sequences, which are basically automation sequences. We'll say like anyone who's on these lists, this is what happens to those people. So it all starts with the list. The list is like the middleman between the front-end funnel and the follow-up funnel. Creating lists in ClickFunnels, super easy. We can do it in like 2 minutes. So all we have to do is come up to follow-up funnels and then click on email lists. This will take you to what I call the list of lists, which sounds weird, I know, but it's just a big list of all of your email lists. Mine's crazy big from doing so many hackathons. Yours won't be as crazy. But in here, just like my list of funnels, we can create little group tags that we can expand and contract to help keep this list organized, the list of lists. I'm going to say list like way too many times while I explain all this. So in the top right here, we're going to click on add new list. Then we're going to give our new list a name. So this is the naming convention I like to use. You don't have to follow it. You can name it whatever you want. What I like to do is put first the name of my funnel, and then a dash, and then what I want to call the list. So we'll call this first list our book non-buyers list. And then when I add the group tag, remember that's what makes that folder my list of email lists. I like to make it the name of my funnel. So I'll paste it in, then click on add. So I know all those lists in that little folder in my list of lists belong to that funnel. Then we get presented with the option to make it a smart list, which I know like sounds so tempting, right? Like, why wouldn't I want my list to be smart? But we actually need, for what we're setting up, we need to create what's called a static list. We want to connect this list to that two-step order form. If we made this a smart list, we would not be able to do that. So we need to make sure this is turned off. Smart list can be an awesome, powerful tool. I use it more for like list segmentation afterwards. So with the smart list, what the next step we would have to do if we toggled that on is define a bunch of rules. So I could say like add everyone whose country is Canada, and then it would scan all the contacts in my ClickFunnels account and add every single person who ever told me their country was Canada. And then I'd have a list of everyone in Canada in my account, which can be useful for marketing and stuff, right? So it is cool, powerful, but not what we need right now. So make sure it's turned off, click on create new list, and that will create our static list. Once you have the list, this is what it looks like. Kind of boring in here right now because we don't have any contacts yet. But once we connect this to that two-step order form and start getting people in here, they'll all get listed in here. And once they're in here, we'll always be able to download those contacts. And at the top here, we'll always be able to import contacts onto this list. We wouldn't do this in this use case. Just if you're ever trying to import contacts from another platform, create a list, click right here, and you can import CSV spreadsheets into your ClickFunnels account. So we could add a big list of contacts all at once. But what we're doing here, we only want people to get on this list if they fill in step 1 of our two-step order form. You can also click on Edit List Settings and change the name or the group tag folder. And if we go back here, we can even start building our follow-up funnel for this list right from the list settings as well. But we're going to come back and do that in a moment. We have one more list to create, right? We have our non-buyers list. So we just need to do the same thing over again for our buyers list. If we go back to the list of lists, we now see our little folder recreated and the list inside of it. So we'll click here on Add List again. I'm going to name this one my book buyers list this time. This is everyone who completes a purchase. And I'm going to paste in my group tag, leave that turned off, create new list. So if we go back to email lists here, you see the book buyers list and the non-buyers list both in my little folder. So that's it. My lists are created. Now we just need to say, how are people going to get onto these lists, right? So all we need to do is go back to our funnel. Let's start with the non-buyers list. Remember, we said anytime someone fills in step 1, we're going to add them as soon as they fill in step 1. As soon as I know their info, they technically aren't a buyer yet, right? They fill in step 1 here. They haven't become a buyer until they actually fill in step 2. We're going to consider them a non-buyer right away, though. So what we're going to do is on our order form step, click on Edit Page. There we go. In the editor, all we're going to do is come up to Settings and then Integrations. So the first option here under Settings, click on that. Under Integration, hit the drop down, select ClickFunnels Internal. Then under Action, select Add to List. Under List to Add, well, we're going to select our book non-buyers list because this is going to add them as soon as they fill in step 1. Then what we're going to say is once they complete a purchase on step 2, add them to the buyers list. And we make that connection at the product level. So once this says connected here, we'll click out of here, click save in the top right, and then we'll exit. And Alexander just asked, so they get added to both lists. Technically, for a little bit, they will be on both lists. But you'll see once we set up all our automations for both lists, we're going to say when someone gets added to the buyers list, remove them from the non-buyers list. So our automations are going to take care of that for us. So on the order form here, I'm going to click on products. There's my book product. I'm going to click on edit. Then we're going to jump all the way up here to follow-up actions. Remember I talked about this earlier? We're going to toggle this on, select ClickFunnels Internal, and then select Add to List. Then we hit our drop down here and select our book buyers list. Once that's selected, we can just click on Save and Close. And now whenever someone completes a purchase on step 2, they will get added to our book buyers list. So back on our checklist here, we can cross this off. We have it connected. Both these lists are connected. We can actually do this for all the products on our upsell steps as well. And it'd be set up exactly the same way for each step. In the page editor, we'd set up like our audiobook buyer or non-buyers list. As soon as they land on the upsell step, they would get added to the non-buyers list. And then in the settings for our audiobook, we would add them to the buyers list when they can complete a purchase. So we can do this for our upsells as well. But try not to overdo it with the emails. We'll talk about emails in a little bit here. Okay, so now that we have them on the lists, we need to set up the automations that'll happen for people that are on both lists. So let's check, or sorry, let's start with our purchase list. So what we're going to do, well, we could do it from the list itself, right? Remember I showed you guys that option there in the list, but I want to show you guys this as well. We're going to go to follow-up funnels, then follow-up funnels. This is like a list of all of your follow-up funnel sequences. This is a list of all the different automation sequences or patterns that you currently have. Just like my list of lists and my list of funnels, we can create little group tags here to organize it. We're going to do ours from the actual list itself though, but just look, if I click here on new follow-up funnel, it takes me to this page where I can name it, create a group tag, and select the list that I want to go through the series of automations I'm about to set up. But I think what makes this easier, and what makes it easier because I don't have to search for the list, and it also just helps me sort of understand how everything's working together. I like to do it right from the list setting itself. So if we go back to our book buyers list here, click on here, let's see, we can create a follow-up funnel right from inside of the list. And that just takes me back to that same screen I just had, but the list is already connected. Just helps me kind of comprehend how everything's connected. So I'm going to give it a name here, the follow-up funnel itself. So we'll call this the book buyers list follow-up funnel. This is the naming convention I like to use, but again, guys, you can name it anything you want. And I like to make the group tag the name of my front-end funnel. Now I get an option here to send to all existing contacts on the list or not. For us right now, this checkbox means nothing because we don't have any contacts on our list. But if you're adding an older list that already had contacts on it to your follow-up funnel sequence, then that becomes very important, right? You can choose whether everyone that's in there already runs through all the automations you set up, or if only brand new contacts getting added to the list go through those automations. So it's up to you. All depends on what you're setting up. In this case, what we're setting up, irrelevant because we don't have any contacts in there yet. We will get some once we start testing this though. All right. Then what we're going to do here is under step name, and we are going to, oh, sorry, I should explain this, right? That created our follow-up funnel. Right off the bat, it's trying to get us to add our first automation step into our follow-up funnel. So you'll see, actually, let's go to the overview to help explain this. So at the top of every follow-up funnel sequence, there's the name of the follow-up funnel. If you click on that, it takes you to sort of this like overview. Once we add a series of automation steps here, it'll list them all here. It'll tell us like all kinds of stats on each of those steps. We'll see them here in a second. You can always come back and edit the settings of this follow-up funnel as well if we click up here. So we could like rename it. You can technically even have more than one list connected to a follow-up funnel. More often than not, I like to keep it simple. You can even delete it from in here as well. Let's go back here. I like to look at it from here because we see all the lists currently connected to the follow-up funnel right here. Right now, it only has the book buyers list. We know from what we've set up so far, the only way someone can get onto that buyers list is by completing a purchase of our book. When we add an automation step, we can add delays on when those steps trigger. That delay is always from when someone was added to one of these lists that are connected to the follow-up funnel. So we can think of the delay on each of our steps that we're going to set up here as a delay from when they bought the book. So if I want to send them a thank you email, what should that delay be? 0, right? I want them to get the thank you email as soon as they buy the book. So let's add that automation in. We're going to send them a thank you email when they buy the book. So I'm going to click here on new step. And you'll see we can automate more than just emails. Anytime you're automating an outgoing email, you use this built-in email messenger app. This is what's going to allow you to design the email, schedule the email, and choose which of your SMTPs will handle the delivery of said email. But we can automate any of our ClickFunnels internal actions. So I could say like 5 hours after someone bought the product, remove them from a list. And actually we are going to do that in a second here. We're going to say after someone buys this product, we're going to remove them from the non-buyers list, right? So we're going to set that up in a second. But we could automate all these other things as well. Adding tags, removing tags, unsubscribing contacts. You can even do email notifications. So I don't want you guys to think that this is going to be an outgoing email. This notification would go to yourself. So you could say, hey, anytime someone completes a purchase, I want to let myself know that I have a new purchase go through. You'd use this step and you can say like what email you want to send the notification to. So it's a little bit different. Then down here, we can even automate third-party integrations. So for example, I have Zoom webinar, which we're using right now for the hackathon, connected to my ClickFunnels account. I could technically say, hey, I don't know, 10 days after someone purchases this product, add them to this webinar session inside of my Zoom webinar account. Probably would never do that unless I set some kind of weird expectation for that to happen, but I could technically do that. You can even say right away when someone purchases, add them to this webinar, right? So you can do all kinds of cool things with third-party integrations as well. So let's automate that thank you email. We're just going to call this the thank you email. We're going to select email messenger. Just like when I set up my product earlier, it walks me through all the steps for setting up an email. So it's really cool. The first email we set up today will take a little bit longer. I'm going to show you guys some really cool shortcuts after you set up your first email. So we choose what email we want to send from, so that'll pull through all our SMTPs. Choose what we want our from name to be. And then this will always be on here. We can filter, we can add filter rules to our email. So we can say only send this email to people that meet specific rules. This one will always be on here by default. It says last engaged days ago was less than 31. So I could say only send this email to people that have engaged with me within the last 31 days. It's on there by default. In ClickFunnels, an engagement counts as anytime someone fills in one of your sign-up forms, anytime someone purchases something from you, anytime someone opens an email from you, or anytime someone clicks on the link of an email from you. As long as all those things were set up inside of your ClickFunnels account. We think about what we're setting up, everyone will meet this rule that's on here, right? Because they're completing a purchase, which counts as an engagement, and we're sending them this email right away. Right away is well within 31 days, right? So everyone's going to meet that rule. We don't even have to worry about it. This is mostly on here as a little safety net. If you were setting up like a follow-up funnel sequence with one of those older lists, if it has contacts on there that haven't engaged with you in a really long time, they're going to be way more likely to mark you as spam, which you don't want to happen. So you just might not want to be emailing those people. It just sort of tries to help you out with that. But with that said, you can always click in here. You can change this to however many days you want. Or if you're really confident everyone on your list wants to be receiving your emails, you can even delete it. In this case, I'm just going to leave it since I know with what I have set up, everyone will meet this rule anyway. It's not hurting anything. So I'm just going to leave it, scroll down to the bottom and click on next. Boom. Then we start setting up the message itself. So your subject, put whatever you want the subject of your email to be. So I'm going to say, thank you for purchasing. And then you can add in something called a pre-header. So a pre-header, you might not know what this is. It's actually all the text that they see after the subject line inside of your inbox. So I could say, well, I could put nothing in here and it'll just pull through the first line of my email. But it gives me a great tip right here. Invoke curiosity. Put in something here that'll make them curious and make them open the email. So copywriting is very important, guys. Again, tons of copywriting training inside of FunnelFlix. So I'm going to say, just simply, here's what you need to do next. I just purchased something off someone and they said, here's what I need to do next. I'm probably going to open that email, right? And then down here, we have all these different email templates that we can use as a starting point for the email we're about to create. So if you hover over any of them, you can click on preview. It'll show you what that template looks like. Once you see one that looks like a good starting point for what you're envisioning, just click here on select template. Once you select a template, it reloads here. We have a little sample here. We can click on edit email right here. And boom. We have the email editor open. So now we can make this email look however we want. So the email editor is really just a more basic version of the page editor. Emails can't do as much as web pages, so it's a little more limited. But you will see we still have that orange plus sign we're used to for adding elements. If we click on that, you'll see there's actually just 8 things we can add into an email. And what that means is actually really easy to become a pro at using this editor. So highly recommend checking these out. If it's your first time using this, add one of everything onto the page, play around with all the settings, and then you can just delete them if you don't want to use them. If we click outside of here, you'll see in this template, we're going to focus on a few of these elements. The first one at the top is an image element. Go into the settings here. It says image URL. Click on select image. Pulls through my same image editor from the page editor, or image library, sorry. So click on next here. There's my virtual hackathon logo. Pull that through. And look, I have it right in my email. Nice and easy. Then down here, I have an image. I'm not going to start out with an image. I'm going to delete that since we have the logo at the top. Some text here. I'm going to delete that. So same as the editor, right? When I hover over an element, you have settings, cloning, and deleting. Just like in the editor with text elements here, I just double click in it to edit what's in there. If I go into the settings of a text element, that's where you'll see like all your basic settings like margin, text color, body font, text size, all pretty straightforward. If I click in here, I can edit what this says. Here I might say like, right? And then there's this text element here. This is probably where I'd put like the bulk of my message. So I'm going to say everyone who bought my book, I'm going to give them exclusive access to my private Facebook group. If I have like somewhere that I'm like consistently publishing content, I'm gonna make sure that everyone's aware of that. So in this first email, hey, thank you. Next thing you want to do is join my Facebook group. That's where I'm interacting with everyone every day, posting tons of valuable information. So if I can get them over there, interacting with me every day, it's just going to help build that relationship between me and them even more and make them even more likely to purchase other offers from me in the future. It's going to build even more trust between me and them. So eventually in here, it's going to say something like, click the button below to join my private Facebook group. Some of this gibberish here. Now there's already a button there, but I'll delete it. What I would do is just hit my orange plus sign, select the button element, and then we can start editing it. So we'll go into the settings. Now see how the button is really close to the text above it? Just like in the page editor, I just need to add margin. So we'll add, I don't know, 15, moved it down a bit. We can change the button color. Since I'm sending them to a Facebook group, it sort of makes sense to just keep it sort of this Facebook blue, whatever color that is, somewhere around there. And instead of download now, I'm going to make the button say, click here to join my Facebook group. And then here where it says button link URL, this is where we would put the URL of our Facebook group. So you just go to your Facebook group, it'll give you the little URL, you copy it, and then paste it into here. I'm going to use projectclickfunnels.com. Fun fact, if you go to projectclickfunnels.com, it'll take you right to the ClickFunnels Facebook group. So we'll use the ClickFunnels Facebook group. Then down here, we can adjust like button size and stuff like that. Make it a bit bigger. There we go. So really important, your subject lines, your pre-headers, the message in your email. Make sure you take the time to write really great copy. It's really important. Then we'll have a link, our button here. If they click this, it'll take them to the Facebook group. There's actually two other ways I could link them from this email to the Facebook group. That's a button link. We could also create something called a hyperlink. And hyperlink is just clickable text, similar to what I set up on those upsell pages, so we're going to do it a little bit differently. So let's add a text element. We'll add an element, select the text element. You'll see if I click into the text element, we also get some options up here like bold, italics, underline, center. I'm going to center this text. I'm just going to make it say, I don't know, click here to get started, right? If we highlight that text, and then click that same chain link button at the top here that we used before. It opens up a little field. We're going to erase everything in that field, paste in the URL that you want them to go to. There we go. So now, then click here or here to go to the Facebook group. There are other, the last way that we can send them out of this email to the page we want them to go to is through an image. So, image element here. If it wasn't here already, we would just add an element, select image, go into the settings, select an image. Now, this would make more sense for like if we were sending them to a page with a video, but I want to show you guys this because it's just such a great way to increase the clicks on your emails. If you have an image with a play button on it, people are way more likely to click that image. So, works especially well if you're sending them to a page to watch a video, but just to help you understand this, like you can't actually upload video into an email. Email services don't let that. It's make the email way too big to send, right? But we can add images and control where they go when they click that image. So there's a really cool tool that ClickFunnels has made available for everybody. And to find it, all you have to do is go to clickfunnels.com/business-tools. I'm going to paste that in the chat for everybody. If you scroll down, there's a free tool here called Add Play Button. Let's see, I should have that actual image. On my computer, right on my desktop, I have that same image with no play button on it. All I do is choose a file, select that image, click add play button, and boom, I get that image with the play button. So then I just click here to download, and I can then upload that right into my image library. So even in the editor, when you select an image, that email editor, you just choose that file from here. You might even be able to drag and drop. Oh yeah, there, I just added the same image twice now. And then you can use that. So a nice, easy way to add play buttons onto your images. How cool is that? So if they click on that, it takes them to wherever you want them to go, right? So in the settings of the image, there's a link URL right here. You just paste the URL of the page you want them to go to when they click that image. There we go. So, oh, I also had a second button here. Just like in the page editor, I can clone things. So I'm going to clone this button from up here and just drag it down here. There we go. We'll delete that. And here we'll put, there we go. So there's our email, right? We'll save this, then click on this preview button, and now we can test these links. So we'll test the button. Hey, I'm in the Facebook group. We'll test the text link. Hey, I'm in the Facebook group. And the image link. Perfect. So we'll save that, close, click on next, and now we schedule when this email will go. So we can set a delay here, right? We can make it as many hours or days as we want. So we actually want this email to go out right away. So if you want it to go out as soon as someone gets added to the list connected to your followed funnel, leave it set to 0 hours. You also have the option here for something called send windows. I'm not a big fan of this, but I'll explain it for you guys nonetheless. If you turn on a send window, you can set an allowed sending time frames. It can be useful in some use cases. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. I definitely wouldn't use it for this use case. Basically, we can say this email can only be sent between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And what'll happen is, say someone filled in or completed a purchase of our product at 8 p.m. tonight. They get added to the list. The step would trigger right away, but it'd realize it's outside of the signing window, and wait until 8 a.m. tomorrow to actually send out the email. Probably don't want that to happen, right? For a fulfillment email like this, like a purchase email. So I wouldn't use this. Now the way it works, it explains it right here, but basically when we collect their information, when they fill in the sign-up form, it gives us their IP address. Based on their IP address, the system knows what time zone they're in. If for whatever reason that got blocked, it'll fall back onto the time zone that you have set in your own account settings. It can be useful in some cases. I'm not a big fan of it. Definitely for this, so I'm going to remove it. Then click review for sending. And now we just get a summary here of everything that we just set up. Over here on the right, you'll get a preview of the email, and you can send a test email to any email address you want. Especially if it's your first time using this SMTP integration, I highly recommend sending a test to yourself. So I just sent it to myself. I'll get it in my inbox here. Once you get it in your own inbox, test the links in your inbox. So here's my inbox. We can click on any of these and it works, so we know everything's set up properly. Here we go. All right. So I'm happy with this. I'm just going to click on make live, and then we're all set. Once people start getting this email after purchasing, on the automation step here, it's going to tell me how many people it was sent to, how many people opened it, how many people clicked the link, how many people unsubscribed, how many sales I got as a result of that email. Up at the top, if we click on sent list, it'll tell me each individual person the email was sent to here, what actions they took on that email. So great info here. We can always download all those contacts from here. We can click on preview, see a preview of that email. And I actually forgot to do this. We can save the email as a template from here. I could have done that earlier. We're going to save this email as a template, use this as our starting point for our next email. So if I click on save as template, well, now I can actually name it when I do it from here. I'm going to name this template virtual algorithm test email. I'm going to check this enable button and create the email design. That's saved as one of my personal templates. I'm just going to hit the back button a couple times here. Get back to my follow-up funnel step here. But now when we go to create our next email, we'll have that as a starting point. So the way it works right now, someone completes a purchase of the product, they get added to the buyer's list, right? Everyone who gets added to the buyer's list gets added to this follow-up funnel. And they'll get this email as soon as they get added to this follow-up funnel. Now what we're going to say is also when they complete a purchase, we want to remove them from the non-buyers list, because as soon as they filled in step 1 of our 2-step order form, they got added to that non-buyers list. So we're going to add an additional step to our follow-up funnel. There we go. We're going to call this one just remove from non-buyers list. This time, instead of creating an email, we're going to use this ClickFunnels internal automation app. So we click on that. We could filter people out, but that wouldn't make sense in this case, right? So we'll just click next. And then the action is going to be remove from list. Hit our drop down. Oops. And select the non-buyers list. That's all we have to do. Hit next. And now we can schedule when this is actually going to happen. Now, I used to always tell everyone, hey, just schedule this for 0 hours as well. So as soon as they complete a purchase, they get the thank you email and they get removed right away. But what I teach everyone now is to add a 1-hour delay to this. Let me explain why it's a good idea to have a 1-hour delay here. What was happening, and it didn't happen all the time, it only happened to me a handful of times, and a couple other users as well, but it's worth having this delay here just in case. What's happening is someone would fill in step 1 of the 2-step order form, which should add them to the non-buyers list right away, right? But for whatever reason, there can sometimes be like a 5 or 10 minute delay. Then what ended up happening is they complete a purchase like as soon as they got added to the non-buyer, as soon as they got on step 2, right? And for whatever reason, sometimes when you're adding them to a list from the product settings, there isn't a delay. So it's adding them right away to the buyer's list, but there was a slight delay adding them to the non-buyer's list. And then what ended up happening is we were triggering this remove automation step before they ended up on the non-buyer's list. So it would trigger, it would remove them from a list that they weren't on yet. And then like a minute or 2 later, they got added to the didn't purchase list. So then I ended up with people stuck on both lists when they actually purchased something. Well, not the end of the world, but didn't want it to happen. So now I'm adding a 1-hour delay here. Still gives them tons of time to complete that purchase and get removed. So we just set a 1-hour delay there, review for sending, and make it live. So now what happens? They complete a purchase of the product, adds them to my buyer's list. As soon as they get added to the list, they'll get the thank you email. 1 hour after they got added to the list, they will get removed from the non-buyers list. But what about the people that never complete a purchase, right? They stay on the non-buyers list. We want to send them some emails, getting them back onto our order form. So we're going to use a separate follow-up funnel for the people who stay on this non-buyers list. We're going to say if they're on here for 24 hours, we'll send them a reminder email. That email will have a link back to our order form, and it's going to say like, hey, I just wanted to make sure you're aware that this book's still available for you. I noticed you didn't purchase, we noticed you didn't claim your copy. Everyone who's got a copy so far is freaking out. I don't think I can keep this for free forever. I don't want you to miss out, so make sure you click the button below and claim your free copy while there's still copies left, right? Something along those lines. Probably worded way better than what I just said. But they're going to click the link in that email. I'll take them back to the order form. So let's set that up. So what we're going to do is go back to email lists here, and we'll see our book buyers list. It says 1 connected follow-up funnel. Non-buyers list, there's nothing connected. So we'll click on the non-buyers list, click on create follow-up funnel. I have another tab here with my ClickFunnels account open. In this tab, I'm going to open my funnel. So we're going to need the URL of our order form step. So we're going to load up our funnel in this other tab. I just need it right here. We're going to copy this URL in a second. All right. So we created our follow-up funnel for our non-buyers list. oh, sorry, we didn't create it yet. We started. There's the list connected. We need to give this one a name. So we'll call this one is the book buyers list follow-up funnel. And we're going to make, well, actually the group tag's already there from our last follow-up funnel. So it's at the bottom of the list. The list is connected because we created the follow-up funnel from the email list. And again, we don't have to worry about this checkbox. So now we have a completely separate follow-up funnel for everyone who stays on our non-buyers list. So let's set this up real quick. We're going to send out the reminder email. Use email messenger again. We'll do this a little bit faster since we've already been through this once. And then what we're going to do is go to select our from email, put our from name. Not really worried about this rule. Hit next. Here, my subject line, I'm going to say something like, did you forget something? Pre-header. Sure, I can keep this free forever. Something like this. And then instead of selecting one of these system templates, what we can do is click here on user, and then all my saved templates will be in here. So there's the one I just saved earlier. So we'll select that one. Now we have our last email as a starting point for this email. And it saved me a ton of time, right? So we click on edit email. And then we just update the message here, right? Don't forget, you have a free copy. Oops. Say like, I noticed you didn't. All right, and then we just need to make all these links go to back to the order form step. So let's load up our first button here, change the color. I'm going to make a nice orange button. And then instead of click here to join my Facebook group, it's going to be click here to name your free copy. Then the button link URL, we need to change this, right? So I'm going to erase everything in this button link URL field. Go to my other tab here, copy this URL right here, and paste this right into here. Boom. Now if I click here, this should go to the order form. Also, my text link here, if I click into the text element where it says click here to get started, there's a little pencil icon beside that hyperlink. If I click on that, opens up the field here that was sending them to projectclickfunnels.com. Now we're going to send them to our order form. So I just use Control-V to paste that in there. And then we had an image. Just going to update that URL there as well. Then we'll copy our button here, drag the button down here, get rid of this old one. All right, we're all set. We preview this email. All of my links should now take me to that order form step, which it does. All right, so we'll save that, close that, click next, and now we schedule this. So I wouldn't send this to them right away, right? Because we want to give them time to actually complete a purchase. So what I would do is either 24 hours or 1 day, then hit review for sending. Send yourself a test email again if you want. We'll just go ahead and make this live, make it live. And there we go. Someone fills in step 1 of our 2-step order form. It adds them to the non-buyers list. 1 day after, they'll get this reminder email. But if they complete a purchase before then, our previous follow-up funnel will remove them from here and they'll never get this email. And we could set up more emails too. Remember I said earlier, like try to make sure you're only emailing people that want to be receiving your email. wouldn't go too overboard with this series of emails, because it could annoy them and they could mark it as spam. So what I do is like maybe like 1 day, 3 days, maybe 7 days. Like I don't try to, like if I'm going like every single day, get your free book, get your free book, get your free book, they're just gonna block me and mark me as spam. That's not good for my email sending reputation. So try not to go too overboard. Different people have different strategies for this, but wouldn't get too crazy. But with that, guys, we can check the last item off our list. Everything we plan to create is now created. The only other thing I would do is test it all out, make sure everything works. If not, you need to just look back, see where you found your mistakes, and update your funnel. That's pretty much it, guys. I have seen some chat coming in, some questions coming in. I want to make sure we get a little discussion session going in here. So let's check in with Adam and see what kinds of questions we have.
Hey, Greg, have a couple things, and you can do these in any order. This is actually from earlier where I promised we'd show this during the Q&A. First off is, how do you import a list? Like if you have an existing list on another platform and you're moving it over to ClickFunnels and adding them to the follow-up funnel and stuff like that. And also, how do you send an SMS through a follow-up funnel?
Okay, let's do importing lists first. Okay, let's say, let me just pull up something here. Let's say, import it. Let's say I downloaded a list from like another platform. So I have this big list of contacts. Maybe it'll be like email, and name, and then there's probably other columns in your spreadsheet as well, right? So it's just a random, it's just Excel, right? So let's say it was just like Greg, and then Gregory, the email was Gregory plus, that was the email that they gave me, right? So you get that spreadsheet, you probably have like a huge list of contacts, way bigger than this, right? It's just an example. Then you would save that. You can do this in Excel or Google Sheets. Doesn't matter where, as long as you save it as a CSV document. I'm just going to call this. I'm just going to save that right on my desktop. There we go. So let's just use our imagination. There's like a billion contacts. What we do is we create a list inside of ClickFunnels. Right? Let's just say it's this. That one. Let's just say it was this list. This is from a different hackathon. But we create a brand new list like I did earlier, and we click on import contacts. All I have to do here is it says choose a file. Click on choose file. There's my test sheet right there. Say you have accepted or you've reviewed the list, click on upload. Then it asks you to map the fields. So here it says your columns. These are the columns from the spreadsheet that I created a moment ago, right? We have email and name. So email, we need to link up with whatever piece of information or whatever field we want to add it to inside of their contact profile inside of ClickFunnels. So email, I should probably line up with email from a contact profile, right? Name, we'd probably put as either first name. If it's just like if the spreadsheet only gave you one field for name, I would just do first name here. But if you could split it up into first and last name, that'd be even better. And then basically once you have everything mapped out the way you want it to be mapped out, just come down to the bottom, click on review. It says, hey, based on what you've given me, you're about to upload one contact. Say it looks good, import these one contacts. And then it just starts working on adding it. So it can take a little bit to process. There's like a backlog queue in the background of the system that's processing these across different people's accounts. So it'll take a little while, but probably this one's pretty short. So maybe in like 5 minutes or so when I come back to my list, we'll see that contact set. You see it's queued up, just waiting for it to go through. So pretty soon here, it will be in my list. So that's how you do that. And then I've already forgotten. What was the second question again?
The second one was how do you send SMS messages through
Right.
through follow-up
So
funnels?
that's a little bit trickier. That I can't show you right now because it takes a little bit to set up, but I can show you where to learn how to do that. So all you want to do is get into that virtual hackathon membership area I shared you guys at the beginning. So if you're not in the virtual hackathon membership area, you can click on, well, you can click on any of the buttons from your calendar, actually. Those will take you all to it. You can go into Funnel Flicks, click on virtual hackathons here or here. That'll load it up for you. And if you go down to bonus videos, actually have one right in here, how to send SMS with follow-up funnels in Twilio. So this will actually walk you through signing up. You do need an account with a service called Twilio, and it costs like fractions of a penny per text message that you send out. It's incredibly cheap. The cheapest option for sending automated text messages that I found is pretty complex to set up, but I've made it as simple as possible for you right here in this video inside of the virtual hackathon membership area. You can also go to virtualhackathons.com/get started. Test that. Oh, I spelled something wrong. Can't even spell hackathons. I've been training for this since October. virtualhackathons.com/get started. Yes. That'll take you right to the membership area as well. Let me paste that in the chat for you guys. But that video will show you how to do it. There's also a great help doc as well on Twilio. I think I got them to update it. If not, just follow the video. There you go. This will also help. I go into a little bit more detail in my video. Were there any other questions coming in, Adam?
Awesome. That is all the questions we have so far outside, of course, where are the recordings?
All right, guys. So recordings are really easy to find now. You may have even seen them. Just get into that membership area. Hackathon recordings. So these get updated every day. So the way it works, guys, they'll get posted right here, and you can watch the recordings right here in the membership area. Now, they don't stay up forever. They get posted for at least 48 hours at a time, and then they do come down. We do that for a few different reasons. One is we want you guys to keep coming back to the hackathons and asking great questions throughout the hackathon. That's how you're going to get the most value out of these sessions. That's what's going to keep the hackathons going for us. So we want you to attend live. The other reason is we're constantly making improvements and updates to how we teach you guys these funnels, and like strategies, and that the marketing game is constantly evolving and changing. We want to make sure you get the most up-to-date training on each of these types of funnels. So that's why we do take them down eventually, but I don't want you to worry. If you miss the recordings, you miss the live session, don't worry. We do a 4-day rotating schedule. So you can check that schedule either on your ClickFunnels dashboard on here or on virtualhackathons.com. All the sessions are on here. You will notice it's actually a 4-day rotating schedule. So actually today, we're doing Ecomm cart funnels and book funnels. And then Friday afternoon, we're covering the same type of funnel again. It's a 4-day rotating schedule. So you miss the recordings and the sessions. That just means you're like a day or two away from being able to attend live again and get access to the recordings again. And Coop asked, does he need to register for session 2? Yes, you do. So if you're in this session, you're already registered for session 1. If you want to attend this afternoon, just head over to the membership area and click on the session 2 registration button. That will get you all set up for session 2. They're 2 different sessions, but you only have to sign up once for the rest of this week. But at the end of the day, Friday, once you see the new dates on here, you do need to register again. But there you go. Do we have any other? I saw a bigger question there in the chat there. I didn't get a chance to read out. Anything we need to address in there?
Yeah, Serhai is. I answered his first questions. He's also got a platinum account. Can I have more users on my account sharing my domain but using their own email and funnels? Um, oh, so he wants to, I guess, allow sub users into his account, but like let them build their own funnels and have their own emails and stuff.
Okay, so you can have sub users on your account as a platinum member. I think you can have up to 3 sub users. So inside of your ClickFunnels account, you just go, I believe it's in your account settings, and then click on sub users. Now, my admin account actually doesn't have the ability to add sub users because they don't want me to give sub users access to an admin account, right? Makes sense. But there'd just be a little button in here. You click on it, be right here, actually, invite sub user. You put their email in there, and then they can log into your ClickFunnels account using their own email. And you can limit some of the stuff they get access to, like they won't be able to see like any of your billing info or anything like that. And I believe there's a help doc that'll probably help you with some of this as well. Sub users. Yes. A couple different docs here actually. So check those out in the help desk as well. Now, as for if you're just saying you want them to be able to use their own email to log into your ClickFunnels account, that would work. If you're saying you want to have one domain with multiple emails on your domain, you can set that up. It just wouldn't be done inside of ClickFunnels. It would be set up wherever you've set up your email hosting. So say I set up Gregory@virtualhackathons.com. In the Virtual Hackathon membership area, in the tech stuff here under personalized email, I show you how you can do that with just one service, a way that you can do that for free. And it can actually have up to 5 different emails on the free plan, I believe. It's a service called Zoho. There's lots of different ways you can create email hosting out there, though, like Google, Google Mail, Outlook, all kinds of different ones. But it wouldn't be something you set up inside ClickFunnels, just something you would set up wherever you have your email hosting set up. This video will show you how to set up the first one inside of Zoho, and then I think you just have to add more users to it, and it'll give them emails that can be added onto there as well. So I hope I answered all of your questions there. Oh, I saw a great question come in here from Danny. Danny asked, what's the difference between using automated and follow-up, automated emails or the follow-up emails? So that is a great question, Danny. So I showed you guys when you set up your emails through follow funnels, where I showed you how you can get all those stats back from your email. You could technically set up automated emails from this automation tab in your funnel steps. The only reason I didn't show you guys how to do that is because we're all ClickFunnels Platinum members. You set the emails up in here, you don't get any stats back on those emails. This is more for people on the $97 plan. So that's why I showed you guys how to do it in follow funnels, because you get all those stats back. AJ said, can you build funnels for other people? Yes, you can. Once your funnel's done, just go to settings and click here on share funnel. They have to create their own ClickFunnels account, and then you can send them this URL. It'll load the funnel right into their ClickFunnels account. Allie asked what happens if you're not a ClickFunnels Platinum member. Not sure what you mean by that, Allie. If you're not a ClickFunnels Platinum member, you don't have access to any of the follow-up funnel features. So you'd still be able to build your funnels and everything. You just wouldn't have access to any of this stuff. There you go. Awesome.
I think we got through all the questions.
Monique just said, is there a limit to the number of funnels we can build? Can I save email lists to my Excel? So there is a limit, Monique. If you're on the Platinum plan, technically the limit is 999, but trust me, you will probably never get there. Essentially unlimited. If you hit 999, just send an email to support and there is a way to add more to it. And then your other question was, how can you get your contacts onto a spreadsheet? So you would just go into your list So wherever you have your contacts. And then there's a download button right here. Let's see, do I have any? Oh, I don't have any contacts. We didn't test this one. But you just click this download button, and then it would actually download a spreadsheet onto your computer for you. So that'll take a few minutes to actually process as well. And then, oh, there you go. You just click on download, and it downloads the CSV right onto your computer. Let's see what else is coming in here. Like I said, I mean, what happens if you don't have the upgraded ClickFunnels version? So like, will you not have access? If you don't have the upgraded version of ClickFunnels, you have access to everything you see in here. You can still build funnels, and set up all the third-party integrations and stuff. You just wouldn't get access to anything you see under follow-up funnels or backpack. As Platinum members get access to all this. Plus, inside of Funnel Flips, there's certain trainings you get access to as Platinum members over basic members as well. Again, asked about the recordings. Again, it's just in that virtual hackathon membership area. So virtualhackathons.com/get started. Click on the links on virtualhackathons.com. Click on the tabs inside of FunnelFlix. It all takes you to the virtual hackathon membership area, and the recording will get posted in here. So this session right now will get posted during the next session. Let's see, Mark says, how can you ensure that your email templates are saved? Do you have to click a button or checkbox? So you just, when you're working on the email, click on that save as email button. Should do it. If it takes you to the screen where it lets you name the template, there's a little enable checkbox underneath it. If you forgot to do that, all you have to do is go into your account settings, go to page templates, then go to email templates, find the email that you saved, click on edit template, and just make sure this little enable box is checked, and then update the email design. Charleston says, given there are so many steps, each funnel is different, how can we test that you didn't miss anything? Run through your own funnels on your own, Charleston. So do test purchases and make sure that you get added to all the lists and everything. Make sure you get the emails. If you don't, then you need to go back and find the disconnect. Sarai says, how do we implement unsub in an email? So we didn't have to set that up in the email because it's actually set up in our SMTP settings, Sarai. So if you follow the SMTP integration video in the virtual hackathon membership area, I'll actually show you how to set that up. Mark said, how can you add your email nurture sequence to your funnels if created elsewhere? So if it's created elsewhere, Mark, you'd have to, you could copy and paste the text, but you'd have to build out the follow-up funnel sequence inside of your ClickFunnels account. So a little bit of work there if you did that. Coop said, how do I do shopping cart and email send? Not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, I would need more info there, Coop. Jocelyn says, how much time should we allot to setting all this up for the first time? Not just ClickFunnels portion, but all the third-party integrations, ETA. That's hard to say, Jocelyn. Everyone moves at their own pace, so however long it takes you to get through everything. I mean, definitely want to set all these things up. So it all depends on where you're at, your current comfort level, current experience level. It takes some people a few hours, some people really long time. Just all depends. Yeah, Adam just said there's a reason OFA is 30 days. If you're just getting started and don't have like a lot of background and stuff, I would highly recommend the One Funnel Away Challenge. Go to onefunnelaway.com to go through that. Alexander said, do we have something like hackathons but dedicated to the traffic inside of FunnelFlix? Yes, inside of, it's not a live session like this for traffic, but if you go down, there's a whole traffic section here. Highly recommend this right here, Traffic Secrets, the first module in Traffic Secrets. So live traffic training that Russell did for, it was the Two Comma Club X members a long time ago, or well, about a year and a half or so ago. But highly recommend going through this. It's amazing. There's also in there one called Ad Skills as well. That one is amazing as well. So in the traffic section inside of FunnelFlix, make sure you go through that. Let's see, lots of people saying thank you. You're all welcome. No problem. Jocelyn's asking about test emails with Gmail. Yes, highly recommend doing that for testing your emails, Jocelyn. In another hackathon, we'll be showing you guys how to do that. So make sure you come to more hackathons. We actually do that live most of the time. Coop said, customer can purchase an email I send them. You just send them to your order form, Coop, which is what I did in my non-buyers list email. So if you missed that, just make sure you come and catch the recording inside of the virtual hackathon membership area so you can do that again. Christine, what's the best for phone leads? Well, we have some amazing training inside of FunnelFlix for that actually. Let's see. Make sure you come into one of our high-ticket application funnel hackathons, which we are doing in 2 days. So probably on Wednesday we'll be teaching that. Make sure you come to that session. But if you come down, it is under copywriting and sales. High-ticket secrets. This is all about strategy for making sales on the phones. So make sure you check this out. Awesome. Let's see. Bill said, how do I change what shows in the address bar again? Okay, let me show you guys that. We didn't really get into that. So in my funnel, I made it show up as gregorycf.com in my address bar. Go into your funnel settings. You have to connect your domain first, which I show you in the tech videos in the virtual hackathon membership area. And then you can select your domain from here. So that covers the first part, right? Covers my domain. But then after that, there's something called a path. If we visit this page, notice the path right here is, it ends in HEW. If we visit this page, so just load this up. We see HEW for a second, but then what actually shows up in the browser is 952. Ends in 952. If I want to change my path, that's everything that shows up after my domain. If I want to change the path that shows up in the browser, we go into the settings gear right here under the page preview. This is what will show up in the browser. I'm going to make it say, hello, Bill. Now if I visit this page, so you guys can all go to gregorycf.com/hello, Bill, and do a test purchase on my order form using this test credit card number if you want to. That's how you change what shows up in the browser, Bill. Hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. Danny said, could it be due to under the same email address? Strange, I tried for a second time and not received that on the email. Not sure what you're referring to there. Dan, sounds like maybe Adam was talking to you about something there.
Yeah, he was doing test purchases and stuff, and I let him know that you always have to use a different email each time because the system will only allow a follow-up funnel to function once for a single email, and that's to prevent spam.
Yeah, guys, I didn't do this, but let's do it real quick. If I fill in this order form here, I recommend doing for testing your emails, open up a free Gmail email address. I have one. It's gregorycf1@gmail.com. You could use that to test your funnel the first time. But as Adam just mentioned, I'll only get follow-up funnels one time, follow-up funnel emails one time. That's a good thing because then people can't use your funnels to spam people. But if I really wanted to go through this again, get the emails in my gregorycf1@gmail.com inbox, what I can do is put in plus anything I want at gmail.com. So I could put, what I usually do is put the day's date. So I'll put 29/2020 test1@gmail.com, fill this in, and then I'll get all the emails to my gregorycf1@gmail.com inbox. If I need to test it again, I'll put in test 2. I'll get all the emails in the inbox for gregorycf1@gmail.com. So you can have one inbox, use multiple emails for testing your funnel multiple times. Any other questions that you've seen coming in, Adam?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. So I will remind you one last time before we leave, we are doing another hackathon this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. If you click, actually, it's already showing up in the top left here. You can just click on Join Hackathon right here. That'll take you right to that page inside of the virtual hackathon membership area. So it'll take you right to here. What you'll want to do if you want to attend this afternoon is scroll down to session 2, click on this button, fill in your email here, reserve your seat, and you'll be all set. You'll get confirmation email and you'll get access to the rest of the session 2 hackathons for the rest of this week. Again, guys, remember at the end of this week, you will need to register again for next week's hackathon. So make sure you keep coming back to that virtual hackathon membership area. Other than that, guys, if I don't see you this afternoon, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody.